Somebody ate my donuts.
This is an active crime scene. To look for forensic evidence. Yakko, turn on the black light. Nothing unusual there. We're animaniacs.
This local access message is brought to you by Uber Eats.
Wayne's World! Wayne's World! Party time! Excellent! Welcome to Wayne's World.
Party on, Wayne.
Party on, Garth. As a local access show, we want everyone to support local restaurants.
But we'd never manipulate you the way all these other commercials do.
Mr. President, as I think everyone knows, the President of the United States, President Obama, and the Republican leadership have reached an agreement on a very significant tax bill. In my view, the agreement that they reached is a bad deal for the American people. I think we can do better. And I am here today to take a strong stand against this bill, and I intend to tell my colleagues and the nation exactly why I am in opposition to this bill. You can call what I'm doing today whatever you want. You can call it a filibuster, you can call it a very long speech. I'm not here to set any great records or to make a spectacle. I am simply here today to take as long as I can to explain to the American people the fact that we have got to do a lot better than this agreement provides. Now let me just enumerate some of the reasons that I am opposed to this agreement. First, as everybody
All right, we are
knows, this
live
nation
for another
has
League of Legends game.
record-breaking
This
13
one's gonna be
point
Peppa Pigs versus Bot Diff Omega Lol. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you got that right, Matt. It's good to
All
be
right,
here.
nice.
This is week 2, right? Week 2. First game for Peppa Pigs, second game for Bot Diff Omega Lol.
Yeah, we've seen the Galio band here and the Talon. These both good bands on each side of the court here. We'll see what they've got to do next.
Yeah, Lily's known for her aggressive talon play mid. She often tries to shove in the wave and then run bottom. So I'm guessing that Peppa Pigs with their bot lane, high elo bot lane player doesn't want to worry about any 4v2 bottom shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm liking the bands of Seek.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a Silas ban came out either. Because for Silas, especially if they choose champions with really good alts.
Right. It would kind of throw a wrench into their plans there by being able to copy whatever your team's doing.
Counterpoint, they picked Jason Elise. Lol. But
I'm a bit surprised by the Cinder ban. I don't think Lily really plays this champion at all, but I guess maybe it speaks to they want to be able to shove in the waves mid themselves, because Syndra's pretty good at just one shot in the cast a wave, and then the melee wave right after that, so it's really hard to get first tower against Syndra. So it's interesting. I'll be interested to see what their plan is mid laner, for their mid laner here. I know he plays a lot of Echo, so I think that could be good to see him shove out the waves and then just insta-roam bottom.
and what do you think of the Kaisa ban and the Vayne first pick?
I think Kaisa's a pick ban champion in this tournament. It seems like, especially against Miguel, who is really only known for playing a few ADCs, and I think Kaisa is his most feared weapon. So it makes a lot of sense to ban Kaisa. He did really well in Kaisa in the first game that BDO won against my team. So it makes perfect sense here, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And here's the signature Ezreal. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I mean, they did first pick their ADC, so first picking Vayne sometimes is a bit dangerous because a lot of the team comps Vayne just can't get activated in team fights until like everyone has used their spells. So it'll be interesting to see if Team PEPPA wants to counter this with a kind of like zone denial in the Vayne, and the Nautilus is definitely a bit scary here. Just as the second pick, but they did full commit their bot lane picks, so let's see what Dixon plays as a counter.
Yeah, good stuff all around. I as a Nautilus enjoyer myself, I know just how much pain things like Nautilus can cause the ADCs, and there's the Skarner. I like this one. Just kind of abduct things, drag them around, make them suffer.
Yeah, so what do you think that Skarner is what does Skarner do well, actually? I'm always not sure.
He kind of just, the way I play Skarner, I don't know if it's the right way to play Skarner, I kind of just Unga Bunga clear till 6, maybe with a gank here and there, then just kind of Unga Bunga ult around the map and cause as much havoc as possible in as little time as possible, especially with Turbo Chem Tank.
Right. So you kind of just power farm up until that Kerbal's Chem Tank and then try to play around your ultimate whenever it's up.
Yeah, definitely whenever it's up, that ultimate is so good to play around. It's just, it's like it's like molasses. It's just, I don't even know what comparison I'm making, but we're rolling with it.
Yeah,
I think BDO is really looking to get a good engage comp with Row and Skarner.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
easily get a pick with Skarner, and then the engage with Row is really good.
And then the Vayne just deleting whoever's gonna, whoever dares stay within 5 miles of Skarner.
Yeah. I think this is the first time though that BDO is playing such a kind of pick where they have a tank jungler. Actually, usually Steven isn't really known for that. Usually he plays a lot of Eve. He plays a lot of like Karthus. So it's interesting to see that maybe they're going for a different kind of like classical front to back team comp this time with the Vayne. And the danger about that is that they have a lot of pick, but then Team PEPPA already has a lot of poke, so I think it's going to be a battle between if BDO can get the vision control, if they can get prio on the macro play, and then whether or not when they siege up for objectives, will they get poked out by the Ezreal Xerath, or will the Ezreal Xerath get run down by Realm Skarner?
And I'm curious too if we see that Divine Sunder Manamune build, or if we see that S-tier Duskblade build I keep hearing about. Ooh, and Zac. I love Zac. What I realize is this current meta might shift things around with the jungle to where, in part, I've been hearing that champs like Zac are going to get much better. Just because things that need less gold, because if you're going to have less gold and less experience, it's effectively easier on champs that have lots of utility. Skarner as well, that don't need as much gold to come online. Yeah.
Yeah, Zac and Nautilus here, PEPPA has a lot of engage and a lot of poke. They kind of have the best of both worlds going on here. I guess their plan is to whittle people down before they commit to a hard engage and trying to clean it up, because traditionally you'd be a little worried about the lack of DPS damage when the Zac and Nautilus engage, but it looks like they're not trying to engage first. They're trying to sit there, siege objectives, and once they get to around half health, to just jump in and then clean everyone up with the burst. I really like the Gnar here. The Gnar Nautilus actually is so much disengage against Team BDO with the ultimate wombo combo.
I am curious with the Gnar pick, because Gnar is also one of Ardit's signature picks. So I'm curious to see how this top lane matchup goes, because I wonder if Ardit's matchup knowledge is going to allow him to get ahead on some Mordekaiser here.
Yeah, definitely.
Another thing I'm really interested in is I'm always interested in watching the bot lane. I also want to see how jungle works, because I have not played on this new patch yet, and I'm presuming these junglers have. I don't know offhand. So I'm really excited to just see, for one, if as a spectator I can notice these sorts of changes, but see if they are noticeable, how it affects the game really.
Yeah, it definitely could be a bit dangerous here with the new jungle, as you were saying, especially because in the Skarner versus Zac matchup, it definitely feels like Skarner has the clearing advantage there. He's always gonna have the jungle tempo up.
For sure.
I think we can expect perhaps a bit of a permagank style from the Zac, maybe a more power farming up until you hit your items, your spikes as Skarner. In the 1v1.
It's tricky because when I play Zac, and again, I'm not a particularly amazing Zac player, but when you try and get those ganks off, like the farming speed isn't too great, and Bammy Cinder costs a lot, so that kind of stinks. But then if you don't get your ganks off, even if you do get a bunch of ganks off, that's one thing. But as Zac, so the act of locking in Zac for me is, I'm going to take this little silver platter I'm making in my hands here. I'm going to put some ice cream, some apple pie, and the early game. And I'm going to say, here you go, it's all on a silver platter. Now, that's my Zac. Zac, as it's meant to be played, likely will be able to take advantage of the early game and just become this unkillable CC monster, which is definitely not out of the question this game, especially with things like the passive.
Not how it works in my solo queue games, though.
That is unfortunate. Yeah. On the flip side, as Skarner, I mean, like, if you miss the E, you don't really have CC. You can run at people and hit them, but like, until you have R, if you miss your E, that's a little yikes. Not to mention, what if some crazy play happens and he loses his nexuses and not the little crystal little crappers in the jungle.
Right. I mean, I'm really worried for Team PEPPA's mid laner. Team BDO's mid lane matchup, because you look at a champion like Xerath, it's great long range poke, and I feel like a champion like Orianna can't really punish that because she doesn't have the mobility to just go in and jump on him like an assassin would. And on top of that, the Skarner Orianna ganking into Xerath might be a bit tricky because of the lack of mobility. So unless Skarner can maybe get that Chempunk Orianna ult in her tower, how do you punish the Xerath for trying to just play the artillery mage playstyle? I feel like it's not going to be easy. Like, there's going to be some good wave management going on. On the flip side, I feel like BDO's team fight engage, right off the bat, you have Skarner Chempunk, you have the Rel W into Orianna ultimate. It seems really scary for Team PEPPA to have any sort of vision control given up for these objectives, because all of a sudden you have this wombo combo engaged and someone just insta dies.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Stu, what are your thoughts on these teams? Not these teams, but these particular team comps.
Honestly, I think that Team BDO is definitely looking to team fight, and the biggest thing that Peppa's got to do is avoid getting picked. If they can avoid getting picked and poke out BDO, then I think that they've got a pretty good shot at winning it. But if the Skarner can consistently get picks, it's going to be a hard game.
Yeah, the name of the game here is probably going to end up being who has the better vision control and wave management on the side lanes in order to be in a position to get those picks or to poke them out. It's definitely going to be a lot of emphasis on vision score. I'm hoping to see some pink wards across the whole map, and I wonder how the supports are going to go about playing with their team to get those deep wards in.
You mentioned wave management earlier. So wave management in the early game is one thing. Wave management later in the game, 20, 30 minutes. So how does one manage their waves in such a way to prevent, say, getting picked, or for just in general? Is it just split push and push them with the main group at the same time?
Well, a big thing about it's much easier to manage your waves once you have TP. We notice here that both. No,
we're at 92.
Oh, I'm at 0. Oh, nope, I'm at 92 now too.
Monkas. But okay, cool. That's where I'm at too. And then, so once they have TP priority, if they ever get this, you can have your top laner split push. Mordekaiser is really good at split pushing a side wave. Oriana can do it as well. Xerath definitely cannot, but because he just lacks the mobility to. And Gnar is fairly good at split pushing as well because he has mobility. And he doesn't quite the wave clear, but it's serviceable. And the problem is that once you siege up for an objective, the top, if you have TP, the guy can just TP into the fight. So it shouldn't be too bad for either team because they do have a sizable front line without the top laner. But problem, especially for these scenarios where the top one person doesn't have TP, you could just try to like stall up the dragon, and then even if you don't get it, the guy who's split pushing is going to get a lot of compensation. He's going to get waves upon waves, and he's going to get a tower objective. So you might get a dragon here or there, but you're going to lose a lot of gold for it. So that's really one of the constraints of not pushing out your sideways before an objective is sometimes you just have too much pressure on this side of the map to the point where even if you get the dragon, there are always going to be some compensation.
No,
96.
96. Yeah, very. And I definitely think it's going to be interesting to shut down this Mordekaiser, because Mordekaiser is definitely a champion that you just stick on a side lane, and even if you get collapsed on, you just ult someone and 1v1 him. A champion like Zac, champions like Gnar, they can't really stand a chance against Mordekaiser in his ultimate. So hopefully I see that he takes advantage of the range of the melee matchup, takes advantage of the Zac, and then tries to shut down this Mordekaiser early so he's not in a position to just take over the game with split pushing. Side
note, if you mentioned Mordekaiser beats the stuffing out of Zac. So what happens if Zac has passive and Mord ults him? When he first kills Zac and the blob, like he breaks into the blobs, does Death Realm end, and does Mord get Zac's stats?
Wow, that's a good question. I would assume that you have to fully clear the Zac passive in order. Yeah.
Okay. So does when he kills Zac but Zac has passive, does Mord ult instantly end, or does it still tick down? Is it still going?
I think he's just in the blob form in there.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, 27?
Yep.
8, 29, 30, yeah.
30. Yep.
Okay, so a nice slow start in the beginning. We see everyone fan out. Neither team really is a strong level 1, so this makes sense. If they had a bunch of early game, I would expect a team to ball up and invade to try to clear out some wards, but it seems it's just going to be a nice fanning out here. Oh, we might see Skarner stop. We might see the jungler start on the opposite side of the map. So maybe.
Part of me thinks this is good for the Zac, but I'm not 100% sure. It depends how. It depends what happens here.
Yeah, I think maybe we'll see some more jungle pressure topside. Maybe PEPPA will play for the Herald more. We'll have to find out. Now, I don't know how I feel about this. The Xerath teleport is going to be really good to find those back timings for him against the Ori with teleports so that you don't fall behind in CS and EXP because you want to buy an item. But he's definitely not going to be split pushing in the late game, so I wonder how he's going to use that TP once it gets to 20-25 minutes and outers are gone.
Lily already starting to trade and do some damage there in the mid lane.
There we see Dixon. Confident against that real.
I'm not sure what I just saw, but I like it. Anyway.
Okay, now we see Mordekaiser top lanes trying to build up a slow push, it looked like, but it seems like Gnar, just the minions weren't on his side, now he's getting...
Here's the hook bot lane. Oh, never mind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you guys on directed camera too? I don't want to be like talking about something that's across the map from where your camera is.
Oh, I'm just looking. Am I supposed to be undirected?
I don't know. I'll...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we have an early gank mid here, maybe? To Steven? I mean, sorry, Tritus? Okay,
Ooh,
great.
Gets the
Looks
flash.
like
And there's the stun too. That's a lot of damage.
Yep.
That's a lot of damage.
That was a great gank. We saw that Ori was just kind of trying to pressure the Xerath hard, and there was no counter gank, so just got punished a little bit for being too far up against the Zac. We need to see more of that too.
Yeah, beautiful stuff from Tritus.
Yeah, it was a great gank. And then, so we see Steven going bottom here, and they're in their tower, so we might see some action bottom. Oh,
there's the flash from Dixon.
Here it comes.
Engage them.
Oh, that's a good engagement.
Wait, but it goes south?
Oh.
It goes south
God,
and it's... Is that a double?
Okay.
That's...
Oh my
not?
God. Oh,
it is! But at what cost?
That was a... Oh, what an NA fight. Saw the condemned from Dave saving that 1v1.
So that was what, 2 for 2?
That was a 2 for 2.
Okay, yeah, I can't count, you see, despite being a math major, I can't count.
The difference here is that Janna still has flash, so, and it seems like the blue side's minions are going to slow push into red side, so they have a lot more kill pressure bottom for the time being with the Nautilus playmate than they do with the blue side's bot lane.
Got some deep vision.
Could see a repeat gank.
Repeat gank here. Oh.
Oh, tragic Q.
Yeah.
Q right behind it. Yeah, so I think maybe we might see much more passive playstyle from this Ori. She's really just escaping, just barely getting by with these ganks. Eventually, your luck's gonna run out mid lane. And now Chris is slow pushing into top to time it with Zac farming bot side. So I really like how these guys are managing their waves here. When jungle is not here, they're just taking their time to... Oh, and the counter engaged by Mordekaiser because of the slow push.
That's a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of damage. Probably going to be forced to back soon.
And here's the TP.
Sarah TP mid.
The first TPs are typically used to just return back to lane and catch up on CS, so probably going to see TPs mid being used soon.
Lily does also have, or doesn't have it, but took TP.
Oh, they already used TP.
We can still see some tactical farming action in the bot lane. Janna's starting to walk up though. I wonder if we're going to see an engage soon, but BDO's bot lane just walking away very casually.
I like the way they're treating this. There's just no reason for them to contest this. You can't dodge. You can't hide behind your minions for the skill shots. And the wave's pushing so fast that you don't have. You can just wait and farm it under tower. The problem I have here is that this Ezreal is really spamming his trading pattern into Vayne bottom, and it's hard to deal with this once you're getting slow pushed in. Ezreal is a champion that's really aggressive and assertive once you have the minion wave on your side, because they can't hide him behind anything. So Miguel and Dixon are probably gonna perhaps call for a jungle gank or something, but they have to find a way to relieve this pressure from the Ez.
There might be another gank happening mid.
There might be a gank top by blue side and maybe mid by red side.
Oh, that's a good E.
Yeah, both junglers landing good stuff at the same time, really. The flash in, is it enough damage? It is not.
Tragic, one auto attack away.
Okay. But both are forcing the laners they ganked back, so.
If only the Zac took Alexecute, right, guys?
Hey, if it's not Dark Harvest, it's not played correctly, as they say.
Preserve, at least, it might help them recover some of the CS difference so far that Oriana's been slowly building up.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
It's true.
It's interesting. Sorry, no, go ahead.
Just saying, bottom seems to be sticking with this plan of just slow pushing in. I mean, Tritus's bot lane is playing this extremely well, keeping track of the Skarner, and then knowing that they can just afford to slow push these waves to create a CS difference bottom. If you look at the CS 41-65, that's 8 minutes. And the matchup 2v2 bottom isn't really easy to break for the Rel and Vayne because they have to pretty much commit to an all-in to stop the poke. But it's hard to do that without jungle pressure, and this Zac has just been everywhere. He's been top, he's mid, and his E gives him great gank pressure. So it's really hard for them to walk up the
Even if he's been mid, is he going to be mid again? He might not be.
Definitely looking for it.
But BDO doing the Herald, but here comes the team fight perhaps, unless they disengage here. Blue team's still on that Herald.
I think we're going to see a re-engage with that.
They definitely
Oh,
have
very nearly a
position
steal,
for
but
it.
it looks like blue team got the Rift Herald.
Okay, so they just chose to give it up. It's fine, they didn't have the vision on it. It was good by BDO to just, as soon as they saw there was no vision on the Herald, they just committed to it. And it worked out for them.
I feel like if you're red team, do you just, once you spot them on Herald, do you just beeline to Dragon? Or would they still make it in time to steal it?
So as red team, they're one step behind on that play because if you look at BDO, they have great vision on the red and on the Wraiths here. So they know Zac is in topside, and then they're like, Zac's not topside, and I bet you there was a call to do Herald right away when Ardent had lane prio in the first place, and so did Lily. She cleared her wave right before doing Herald. So it seems like BDO is trying to coordinate as a team to get these jungle objectives, while PEPPA is more focused on getting lane advantages, especially through mid lane, with the Zac.
Dude, just look at this Ezreal poke damage.
Right, so unless they get some external help, this is a really oppressive lane to try and break the pressure by yourself.
But here's the whole team walking over a pink, though.
Yeah, they have great defensive vision for themselves. They got that ward on the top river too, so you can see Skarner coming up. They're really focused on just hard shoving these waves and pressuring the bot lane's HP bar. Skarner's trying to solo Dragon here. Their bot lane is not in a position to contest it. There's a fight 4v4, but do they know? Are they going to know about this? Doesn't. Okay, so they do find out.
Both top laners have TP as well. This could very well become a 5v5, but there's no fight here.
There's no fight. I mean, Vayne and Rel are happy.
They're going back on the Dragon.
This could be a disaster for BDO. Oh, nice condemn.
Beautiful condemn from Miguel, and there's the Skarner ulti. But Zac lives.
Oh, the aftershock saves Zac, and
here come all the ultis.
Damage. I mean,
Miguel really well.
The TP?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, and here we're gonna see the ult interaction I was waiting for. Yep, there it is.
Seems like Mordecai just got the TP in first and was able to use his prio to guarantee them the dragon. Inar will get some CS for that, but that it will be the first dragon for blue side in exchange. I expect to see maybe we'll see some TP plays bottom. That's why he chose to save the TP instead of contesting the dragon. That's probably what we'll see. In fact, we're going to see a mid gank right now. They don't have any ultimates mid. This could be a clean gank. Some auto attacks. He decides to just give it up to the Herald. Fair. So they did get the dragon, but Matt, as you say, you don't really value first dragon too much, right? It's just like...
Yeah, because it's like, take for instance, actually, perfect example, Mountain Drake. 6% armor and magic resist. Who's gonna have armor and magic resist? It's gonna be the Rel, it's gonna be the Skarner. Maybe later down the road, Orianna will have like a Zonius or something. I don't know how Mage is built now. But, so 6% of
we're seeing
like practically 0 armor and MR. So that dragon, as nice as it is to have, it's not gonna do as much right now. So it's not a huge deal that red team loses the first dragon.
We just saw Dixon engage on Janna on Nautilus, and we saw you burn Ignite for basically in exchange for Nautilus' entire health bar. They're gonna lose a lot of pressure here, and Ezreal should not be able to commit the same type of poke. We saw that they were full HP off the reset, and they just went all in, and because they realized that you either have to go all in the beginning if you can, or you just get poked out. So it's good to see them trying to mix things up and using the stronger DPS of Vayne to try to force them out of the lane early instead of just getting poked out.
Ooh, there's a bigger engage though, but there's the stack with the lane gank.
Okay, we have the Gnar TP. The TP is I mean the mid TP. Sorry, or TP.
And Janna gets out, but here comes the TP.
Oh, but they just ran away. Once they saw the TP, Ardent's going to be able to get some plates off of this. So top lane will fall behind slightly in gold.
Is there some way that Janna gets assassinated here?
I don't think so.
I mean, she is Nautilus, but like that low health. Well, Lily goes for it.
She did
my Ezreal damage.
This Ezreal is getting.
Oh my god!
Time goes on. Being allowed to poke them under tower. You really need to see more jungle pressure bottom in order to break this. Because unless Vayne and Rel go in instantly when they're full HP, it's really hard for them to stop Ezreal from poking. This stage.
Ezreal's just so oppressive. If the problem is though is that if they don't target Nautilus first, they're just gonna get CC'd while Ezreal pokes them down. But they can't target Ezreal without getting rid of the Nautilus.
It's true. Yeah, that is the dilemma here. So they will probably need some jungle, or interestingly, even if the first tower falls, it will free up the bot lane.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That's a lot of damage.
It looks like he wanted to stop the back.
Taking so much.
Oh man.
Oh no, he's
That was
baiting.
close. But here comes Tritus. Oh, what a punish.
Oh.
Beautiful gank.
Wow, that was a great
Yeah.
bait.
Narath was there too. They just knew what was gonna happen there. Beautiful stuff by Team Peppa Pigs.
Right, that is just very unfortunate for BDO. I want to see them focus more on the top side. You lost bottom. You're probably not gonna come back from bot. But Ardent is really strong, and he could maybe contest with some split push pressure. Oh, that's the hard part about
Okay.
Oh, but here it comes. Is this the ulti? That's the ulti.
Yep.
But Chris just flashes away, and it looks like he's safe. Red team getting the first turret.
Did flash away. We do need to see a repeat gank here, but to take advantage of that flash. But it looks like Skarner's on the Heralds, and with Gnar with no flash and is low on HP compared to Mordecai, you can't contest it. Dragon's coming up soon, and I don't see a way to stop the Herald play into Dragon.
Yeah, there's 4 bots, so they can't really contest
I
the
wonder.
Herald
Let
at
me
all.
see how the Heralds. Yeah, I wonder if there's a world where blue team does this Herald, beeline straight to Dragon.
And here's the problem, right?
I think this Lily's pushing the wave too. This is very possible.
Like, PEPPA drafted Xerath and Ezreal. How do you stop them from just standing in front of the Dragon and poking down your entire team? Unless you go for a hard commit engage. But with the bot lane difference this bad, you're gonna have to look for a wonder play, and there's still plenty of ways to come back if you get the right wombo off, especially with the Ori ult, but it's gonna be tricky, and they're gonna have to set up vision ahead of time.
Oh man, that just stings from the Ezreal.
Okay, so it seems like BDO is just choosing not to contest the dragon. I like this call from them, because their laners were getting poked out. They had to reset. They weren't in position to contest it.
Wait, I don't think it's that they're not contesting the dragon. I think they're trying to both contest the dragon and get a tower.
Sorry, I meant. Okay, so I guess they are contesting it.
Looks like they're getting in position to at least. Interesting.
Here comes
Is Steven gonna
Janus
try to get the
off
Ezreal?
corner, but at what
Oh,
cost?
it's good Ezreal. And the artillery Xerath coming in. Long range damage. The Vayne's all in on Ezreal. Does she win the 1v1? That's a
A
great
stun on the Ezreal. Miguel gets a
Oh
shutdown.
my god. BDO with the Wombo combo team comp beating the artillery comp. And Ardent wins top 1v1. That's the Mordekaiser coming in. Post 6, by the way. Wow, that was a.
We'll
that
have
was
to
a-
care for the Xerath though.
That is so
They're all
good for Team
pretty-
BDO.
BDO played that really well. A lot of high value CC. Miguel going
It's hard to be-
absolute Uzi on that Ezreal.
Ooh, that is unfortunate. A good attempt, but still unfortunate.
Yeah, it was a good attempt. But now the problem is, like, when you go for these 1v3 Dragon Steals, you could redeem the whole game, or you could, but if the risk is if it doesn't work out, your back timing isn't the same as your team. So now with these 10 seconds, I want to see BDO group up and go for some jungle camps or deep vision. But I guess they choose to reset it, probably some item spikes, so they're just going to play safe. But yeah, so that's the combo there from BDO. They have great team fight. And I want to see from PEPPA maybe next team fight they're going to play a little slower, kite back more, use the poke more. Xerath wasn't really there for the fight, so I feel like if they play for their team fight condition, it might be a bit harder for BDO to pull off the same thing again.
And TPs are all going to be up soon, so definitely when Baron spawns, we might be looking at a team fight around Baron.
Definitely, especially with the Vayne being able to. We all know that Vayne can burst down these high health objectives.
I see what you meant earlier also on that topic about the Xerath teleport, because it's like you want to be in the if there's like a big team fight situation, you want to be there poking them. So I worry about the possibility where you just wait until the team fight starts and TP in, because that's valuable time you miss poking people out and stuff.
Right.
Whereas like if they're engaging, it's probably already doomsday because they have such
Yeah.
a big engage comp.
The problem is they are on the clock here. They do have the Vayne outscaling the Ezreal into that comp with a triple front line. They do have the Mordekaiser just becoming a monster when he's full build. Especially with the Omnivamp changes onto Rift, making the more items Mord gets, he just becomes increasingly more difficult to deal with in a 1v1. So PEPPA does have the mid-game power spike, and they probably still have some very comfortable leeway for team fighting. But they do have to take the initiative here earlier on to stop them from just scaling into a great ball-up team fight comp.
There is getting some vision top around Baron, and they have the scuttle, so when it comes up, they might be looking to try to force something.
Oh, Steven's got a great flank here on the
Oh
edge.
yes, this
Not
flank.
Oh, missed hook.
Here it is. That's the
Oh,
ultimate.
but there's the ulti.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Oh man.
Wow, great
Ooh,
flank.
fantastic pick.
Two-sided flank from that.
Yeah,
Ezreal has
they're probably looking to Baron now.
right.
Ezreal's down. Xerath's bot lane.
For
He
Baron.
could TP, but he would be late.
It's true. And Ezreal had 4 of that team's kills. Without him, there's a lot of damage gone.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, there's another
He
one.
might be looking for. Yep.
trying to force this without the Ezreal. The Orion is TP.
There's another one. Oh, good flash.
And the Ori.
Oh no. This is
Oh
TP.
no,
Okay,
that's
there's-
another kill.
Yep. I'm surprised they're chasing here. I would have just expected them to just go to Baron.
Alright. So they're probably just playing around they probably just want to play it safe, maybe get some damage on mid tower, push out waves and reset. They might think they're not as far ahead as they are, because we do have the advantage of spectator mode. See the gold difference. But it's interesting that how BDO is playing this, they're just grouping up and playing around these really strong abilities that they have for pick, whereas PEPPA are the ones that have to set things up, but I feel like they are losing the vision game. If you count the amount of wards that they have on the enemy's camp, BDO has 3, and PEPPA only has 1 ward on the bottom side of the map, not really high pressure area right now because the dragon's not up. So I think BDO's vision game is just immaculate here, and it's allowing them to get all these picks.
Yeah, all chat's an interesting place.
Yeah, I'm about to make this stream more mature by the second. Mature rated.
They are getting some wards bot side, so they are looking to set up for Dragon, it looks like. PEPPA is.
I feel like we could even see BDO just say, okay, we're gonna give you the dragon, but we're gonna get the we see the dot from Zach. And maybe this is a bit too forced.
There's another engage from Dixon.
Oh wow, that engage was actually
beautiful nonetheless. But Steven could be getting caught. Never mind. He's out. He's fast. He's zooming.
Oh, that's a good Oriana ult, catching the Zera. And Vayne is just going in 1v5 in the back. They can't catch him. Ability. Right, but as I was saying, it's like they don't. You know, PEPPA is not the one with the engage comp. They are not the ones that should just be going in. Ezreal does not have the DPS to match Vayne, and Xerath does not have the DPS to match Ori. So they really need to use the artillery of their comp here to just have like a standoff with BDO and just poke them down. But it is hard when you don't see where everyone is. I think BDO is playing this really well. Whenever they have the tempo, they're always getting deep wards in. And they just seem they seem very coordinated this game.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, because what I'm noticing is I see 3 members of Team BDO with fairly hefty bounties on them. That's it stinks, but there's definitely like if some miracle team fight happens for Team Peppa Pigs, that's a lot of gold.
That is a lot. It's definitely comebackable. All it takes is one fight and one objective, and suddenly Peppa Pigs is back in the game in the driver's seat.
And as much as many dragons as BDO have, they don't have soul. There's no elders coming up, so they do have the constellation of that. They have time to farm and scale.
It's true. This is Ocean Soul though, one of the most broken soul in the game actually, and you really cannot, if you're a Peppa here, you really do not want to allow Ocean Soul. That's more valuable than Baron. You need to keep vision on that extremely high priority, and you need to let this Ezreal with 2 items just do his thing and spam Q and W. Ezreal has a great escape, but as we saw, the amount of pick that BDO has, they can afford to just blow his E out and then run at him with Chempunk. And he can't really escape that, so he's gonna have to whittle down the tanks too, in order for them to just get targeted when they run in the backline, as they have been doing.
Yeah, I can definitely see why it would feel tricky as a poke comp into this, because like you gotta poke them, but like.
Oh, looks like
they might be looking to collapse mid.
Rel engage. Oh, Nautilus didn't get stunned there.
Nautilus could get caught here, and there it is. That's a lot of damage.
The BDO should stop chasing here. They're gonna get poked out. If they do, and they choose to just clear the wave. Okay. It's a good thing that Dragon isn't up. They could pressure Baron here, but they're gonna keep going middle. Maybe take this time to get some deep vision in is what I would say is best. Okay, so it does look like there's a ping on the Baron. They are going to go for it. Rel's going to walk up to catch up to the team. Now, I still think Peppa's not that weak. They could
Red team still has vision. That ward's not being blocked by whatever pink they have, or sweepers, or whatever.
The Peppa will TP in. They're trying to contest this. Oh, it's too late. They're too slow.
This might catch it.
Yeah.
But are we going to see a kill from the Zera? Stops the back.
Oh, he's definitely looking to try to get the Ori.
Gets close, though.
It's not the end for Peppa here. They still have a lot of towers left. and they have pretty decent wave clear with the Zerath and Ezreal compared to Ori and Vayne. So it might be viable for them to just scale up, and no matter how, even if it's full build and they don't win all in team fights, a full build Zerath is still a monster in Poke. So they could definitely still play to their win condition here, and
like even though they get outscaled, it doesn't mean it becomes unplayable for them.
right. And if you look at the gold value on this Ezreal, he is not behind anyone in gold, so he's really strong. I feel like despite the 6k gold deficit, if you play around this Ezreal's poke, he's gonna do monster damage to these even these tanks. He's gonna lose like 300 health every time they walk up.
Yeah.
As soon as one recall, then that's when you pounce on him.
You mentioned the gold values. The Ezreal and the Vayne have pretty readily. Oh, the Zac is gone. Oh, never mind, he's back. ADCs have the most gold here right now, each topping 10,000 gold. But yeah, the Ezreal has the most gold in the game right now.
Yeah, this guy has 240 CS. He just
steamrolling in farm and still has quite a few kills.
I mean that's one thing that I noticed, that it's Bullseye. He's a great mechanical player, but his farming sometimes he does fall a bit behind.
There's another engagement, yeah.
The Skarner did use ultimate just now, and they weren't able to get a kill. It's a big piece of utility gone for them. We could see a counter engage here from Peppa Pigs. I like how they're poking them out here now. They're playing this slower. They're trying to get the poke out.
This is Ocean Soul coming up here. They could just dip and head for Drake.
They could just dip, but they do not have Skarner ults here, and BDO doesn't have Nautilus ult, so it does kind of cancel out, but we could still see they still have the Zac engage and Nautilus engage, so I think that they should look for when they're split up, and then we might see a big engage here.
The time is running out. Skarner already halfway off cooldown.
They saw this, they're going in, and they just get disengaged on. That's unfortunate. The Vayne Condemn was really good there to save Rel. This could be a big bait. They don't know where they are. Oh, 4-man
Oriole.
Oh, 4-man Gnar ultimate though. Oh.
But is it enough?
No DPS.
He still gets shredded by Ardent, and blue team just cleans up.
Oh,
one auto difference from Ezreal and Vayne. That 1v1 changed the entire fight. Wow, that was insane. Two insane ultimates. Gnar got a 4-man ultimate. Ori got a 4-man ultimate. And Vayne barely 2v1s Ezreal. This is a game of inches with the ADCs. But yeah, so that's the DPS difference right there though. Like that's the Vayne can just afford to do this. And if you don't see C Locker, it's really hard for a comp to deal with this Vayne just in your backline.
So I wonder if you see, because the Vayne was first picked. So if you see the Vayne, I feel like you just pick more engage.
Not necessarily.
Like, do you have to not go poke comp against the Vayne?
No, not necessarily. I think this BDO was able to catch up a lot during mid game, because if you remember, Ezreal was really ahead out of laning phase, but Miguel was able to just get some nice kills, and Ezreal was keeping up in gold because of his farm difference, but they just lost too many fights, and the Vayne got funneled a bit from that. But we could see a Rel pick here. He's fully by himself.
I was gonna say.
And he doesn't get over the wall. That is tragic. And that is a pick.
Don't get caught out. That's the best of us.
It does go to the support, but gold is gold. That's important stuff.
It's true. And Nautilus being tanky isn't the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I for one certainly welcome it.
It's only an 8k gold lead, but the problem is Ocean Soul is so broken that once you have it, you have to all of a sudden build executioners. Yeah, see, Ezreal bought executioners and into a comp that otherwise you wouldn't really care about healing, but now you have to change the entire item slot just for this grievous wounds.
I wonder, do you think would the Mordekaiser alone justify? Well, maybe not. Would the Mordekaiser and the Vayne justify executioners?
Not really. Vayne didn't even go lifebow, so.
Well, she did get Bork, but does that change anything?
Not really. It's not enough healing and to justify it, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Soul, it's enough healing there. You're kind of broken soul. But I like like this is what I like to see from PEPPA. They see this objective, they're grouping up, and then like when someone walks up, they just start poking them like this row. And this is what's gonna add up, but it's a bit hard
But
now.
the Ocean
when...
Soul is gonna make him regen it back. I can actually see the regenning.
The problem. Oh, this is actually.
There's like an engage, some more Zerath though. But here's a Knot Hook.
The front line's going full Chad for PEPPA. They don't care about the gold deficit.
Oh no, but Chris is gonna get caught maybe.
Oh,
and there's a big engage with the Rel.
Vayne is
And
constantly.
Miguel just shreds the whole team.
Vayne is just constantly 1v1ing Ezreal. We have an early GG from Nautilus. It's probably not unjustified. Looks like it's going to be over. Maybe Zach could fly over them and they all get distracted and chase him down. Who knows? But it does look like
the game ended. The game ended.
we just leave, right? If it freezes.
Yeah, we just leave.
Yeah, unfortunate. Riot is about to get a lawsuit from us. That was an interesting game. I think PEPPA definitely played really well in laning phase. Like their individual lanes were well played, but they kind of just let the game get away from them because BDO really had the timing tempo on all of the objectives.
I think everyone knows.
Yeah, and I especially noticed early game with the Dragon and the Herald. Though, I watched like a skill cap video on it. Of course, anything I mention, unless it's about game, I probably learned from someone else. But anyway, what I heard about with First Dragon is if you see them just unga bungaing the First Dragon, you can. Oh yeah, we need Stu in here. Where's Stu? There's Stu. What I heard about the First Dragon is that if you just see the enemy jungler unga bungaing the First Dragon.
I don't have an invite to the custom game.
Yeah. We did. Here, I'll have that. Oh, okay.
Doesn't Justin have one? Or wait, no, Justin's playing this named.
No, I'll leave.
No, but that won't solve the problem.
Why?
To the American people the fact that we have got to do a lot better.
Why don't I just leave and then Stu can join as spectator? A player can come back in.
Now let me just enumerate
Here,
some of the reasons.
Oh, but Chris has to leave.
Does it work that way?
No, because you won't be able to join spectator.
First is everybody
Oh my
knows
God.
this
Sorry,
nation has
I didn't realize this.
a record-breaking $13.8 trillion national debt.
Okay,
And
now
at the same
come in.
time,
Yep,
as the middle
now you join
class
spectator.
is collapsing and poverty is increasing.
There you go.
And Mr. President, I think it's important that we say a word, because I'm not sure that a lot of Americans necessarily know this, about how we got.
Alright, Justin, Stu, what do you two each want to see from this next draft?
Well, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rel and Skarner ended up banned, just because they got so much team fight, like, engage out of those, and they kept getting consistent picks.
Yeah, I can tell you from the receiving end, when I'm playing ADC against Dixon, I love seeing. Okay.
Yep.
I love seeing.
There's a Skarner.
I hate seeing his rel. First of all, it's just his rel is much better than his other supports. He's a really good rel player, and he doesn't really ever run it on rel like he might on some other supports. So I think it's definitely worth a ban. And I want to see. I'm actually fine with them picking a similar comp. The Ezreal, the Talon Slayer Twinger is a great Ezreal player. He was pretty much 1v2ing that lane. Well, he could have. The Nautilus wasn't doing a lot of pressure, but I feel like from what I saw, he could even 1v2 that lane if he had to. He's very comfortable in the pick, constantly getting this poken. And I just think that because, taking away that they didn't focus jungle bottom. That's not part of BDO's plan. So to get this slow push in Ezreal with the poke is just a really devastating combo, and I'm totally fine with seeing that again. I just think that they need to work on their middle game vision and their macro to get in position to help Xerath and Ezreal pop off. But so I don't think it was necessarily a draft difference. I think it was the fact that BDO played really well just all around in the mid game.
Honestly, I definitely think Peppa needs to be more wary of objectives, or at least I guess know when they're ahead, because especially that first dragon, they had really poked out BDO and they were all kind of low, and instead of contesting the dragon, they kind of like just kind of danced around it and let BDO get it, when I think if they would have just engaged, they probably would have won the fight.
Yeah, I definitely
I
see.
think I think they don't realize when they're ahead. I think that's part of the issue.
Yeah, it's definitely hard to tell, get like an objective feeling about, how strong is my team. A lot of it's based on momentum and like how the player feels. So it's really tricky to know if you're actually ahead or you just feel ahead or you feel behind.
It was just early game, their lanes, except for mid, were all doing relatively well. Top was even, mid was behind in CS, but with the ganks, like, it forced Ori to back a few extra times, and bot was pretty much crushing early game. And so I feel like they just needed to, at the very least, prioritize bot early, just because they did have the lead there.
Right. Okay, so it looked like a mispick on the Tristana. I was about to say Tristana mid, pretty dubious into Lily. She seems to be, I don't think she's the type of player that would fall for that cheese, but could always happen. Maybe it wasn't, maybe I'm... Okay, yeah, it looks like it might have been a mispick there. Supposed to be Maokai, okay. But I was about to say, a Town Swinger is Kaisa. From what I've seen, he's a good Kaisa player too. He plays similar to Ezreal, but he's constantly spamming his trading patterns. So I expect to see a lot of, waiting for Mega to CS, walking up and auto queuing over and over again. And it's up to the support to zone him off, so you can't do that. And the ADC to maybe sometimes miss the CS to get the health advantage. Maybe sometimes like take him out so he overextends and the support gets a poke off. Like, it's going to be really intricate bot lane. And I feel like this bot lane is going to make a big difference this time around. They're probably going to refocus their efforts bottom. So I'm going to see, maybe we'll see some big dragon fights, but this way Skarner can't just walk with the dragon and solo it again like before and just start.
Yeah, I like the Skarner ban here. I think that Skarner all changed, so both the Skarner and the Rel changed so much. Like as we saw the last game, like just so many of these plays started because of a Skarner engage or a Rel engage. Like they have to get rid of at least one of those. I like the Maokai actually, just because I think it's hilarious when Maokai throws his little shits at you. And there's nothing you can do, and you can just run, and then you get Imperial mandated, and then somebody like breathes on you, and you just get exploded for some reason. Maokai's fun. Maokai's everybody. I keep hearing people complain about Maokai support. I for one welcome it.
I mean, speaking
not
of
the pick here, but like just the champion.
Right.
But yeah.
I mean, speaking of Dixon, like he's like this. He's such a Giga Chad support player. He's not afraid to just risk it all and walk up to you, and then just blow his whole combo just to set something up for his teammates. So you always have to worry about that when he's playing a tank. And okay, so we're going with the Xerath again. Could just be, maybe he's just very comfortable in the Xerath. I did feel like he was getting some poke off last game.
Getting what off?
Good poke off, some good long.
Yeah, he definitely was. Like it wasn't like the Xeraths I see in solo queue where like they actually get field goals between champions and miss everything. Like I noticed in every single fight, okay, he hits this, he hits that, he hits the ult here. Like it's he clearly does meaningful work on the Xerath. So I welcome the Xerath pick.
Right. Now, okay, so they did ban Stevens Evelyn, banning Syndra again, and BDO is trying to pick their jungle and mid duo. It's really important for this duo to have some kind of synergy. A lot of teams like to draft some early game mid and jungle so they can constantly take fights for objectives. They don't have to fall behind early. So interesting to see. Steve has a very big jungle champ pool. Can't really ban him out. And Lily plays these super prio aggro mid laners that are able to just help you take Scuttle, gank, take Dragon. Whereas Xerath can't really do any of that. Like, Xerath doesn't have vision in River
Ooh,
Bush,
Nunu.
and mid lane just, you can't face check. I don't think he plays Nunu very often. Nunu could be a good pick here, but then we're going to have to see hyper carry mid. If he picks Nunu, they're not going to have the damage. It's 5v5 late game. Okay, he does pick Nunu, so that we're going to have to see hyper carry mid, I think. Otherwise, there will be a draft difference in traditional team fights at the very least. So, I think you pick Nunu here, you definitely don't want to pick like...
Ooh, well, I always love Hecarim.
I do think the Hecarim's a good choice, because if they can pick off the Vayne, and especially late game, stop the Vayne from dealing out damage, then they've really got to only worry about the Mordekaiser and whoever Lily picks for mid lane.
I just realized that I was watching the stream instead of my spectate, so I was just split second behind. Oh my god, this is a huge monkas.
We're all on Google Chrome and Justin's on Internet Explorer, like
Sponsored by Google Chrome. But
an interesting pick of Ahri. Ahri's not super strong right now. Even as a mage assassin, she's not very good at assassinating people even when ahead late game.
right. I mean, there are some times where Ahri can take over the game, but I am worried for BDO. Like, sure, Mordekaiser is a bruiser, but you know, let's say everyone's full build. How does BDO kill anyone? They have if Vayne gets Gragas ulted into Hecarim chain, which is pretty much AoE CCs not dodgeable. She's just not there. How does Ahri clean? Like, where's the other threats besides Vayne and damage department? I feel like this ADC is gonna have to go full Uzi, or they're gonna have to get ahead and just keep rolling them over and over again. I feel like they lose a fight in the mid game, and then it could just be a draft diff for PEPPA.
Mordekaiser and Vayne are definitely the two that BDO are going to want to focus on making sure they end up strong, because if they don't, and Hecarim is able to gank and get kills on Vayne and Mordekaiser and set them back early, I think that's might be one of the deciding factors in this game, is whether Mordekaiser and Vayne are allowed to free farm or if they get punished early.
Right. I mean, Mordekaiser and Vayne don't get ahead in lane, and BDO actually has no damage. I think that PEPPA, I love PEPPA's draft here. I think it's super easy to navigate. It's really flexible. Gragas is a great top lane pick. Anytime you want to trade with him, he just E's you, walks away, and then heals off W. It's a really good pick. And BDO, I mean, PEPPA's got great team fight. They got decent split push, like not great, but it's serviceable. They can match the waves, and they have really good mid wave clear again. So BDO, I feel like BDO is the one that has to come up with the plan here, and they have to play really well to get some picks or not let PEPPA get into the game gold wise.
Yeah, I wonder what happens late game whenever, like, I guess, does Vayne outscale Kai'Sa?
So Vayne and Kai'Sa do different things. Their late games are both greats, but Kai'Sa does rely more on her spells than Vayne. Vayne is more single target damage, but if you're talking about pure ADC 1v1, if Kai'Sa just ults on top of Vayne, she usually wins that because she's got the shield, she's got her Q and W do a lot of damage, and they're not tanky enough. Vayne is not tanky enough to survive that kind of burst. So if they had a lot more health each, I could see Vayne out DPSing Kai'Sa, but in the beginning, because it's so bursty, especially with Collector, Kai'Sa just bops Vayne later in the game. But but the thing is interesting about that is that Kai'Sa should not be allowed to just jump on top of Vayne. So what I'm talking about is Kai'Sa, there should not be some kind of like Maokai ult, Hecarim ult, Gragas ult that you just click on Vayne, she gets CC'd, and Kai'Sa just jumps on, insta kills her, which she definitely can. But that's why it's so hard for Vayne to play around all of that, just to play around 3 champions and Kai'Sa. Whereas for PEPPA, they just walk up and then like just see how it goes, and I think they have the damage to just do that.
Just walk up slowly and down smash.
I mean, Kai'Sa's got Vayne is really good at shredding tanks, but Kai'Sa with Runeans shreds multiple tanks at once, and if it's a stalemate, Xerath just pokes you out. So that's what I mean when BDO has to be the one to come up with a plan. But
I was curious to see how the Xerath fit in the team comp, and now after the way you explain it like that, I understand really well too, because it's like they just do it all, really. Like, and am I getting the right impression from this?
I think it's fair. I mean, Nunu is a great pick for just rolling it into lane and just ganking mid, and then 5 seconds later ganking bot. So maybe we'll see that kind of action from Steven. Xerath is still super exploitable if you dive. As soon as Ahri hits 6, you always have to worry about ults and then charm or Nunu roll in your tower and you're dead. So definitely still winnable for BDO, but they have to play it well.
I do think Lily is the stronger mid laner in general, though. So I think unless she does get ganked a lot early, Xerath's still gonna have a rough time in lane.
I don't know. While perhaps that was fine, and perhaps like maybe last game Xerath did have quite a few ganks. Like Xerath didn't die. Was only 20 CS down. Like to me that's like I know how I'd play against Lily. If I went 0-0-0, 20 CS down, I'm doing a victory lap after the game.
At the same time, though, Lily really didn't get many ganks at all, and Zach was almost constantly in lane. So
yeah, that's
it's
true, but
it's one of those things.
If Zach's not mid, it means he has the chance to go top or bot, we'll say.
Yeah.
And especially like, could you imagine a world where like this Zach goes bot and gets the and shuts the Vayne down? And as Justin said earlier, if you shut the Vayne down, they don't have damage. They just get shredded.
Zealots have barrier in this matchup. I like the adaptability here. Taking barrier into an ignite or to a champ with kill pressure and just recognizing that, hey, if this mid doesn't get ahead, my team is the one that looks better out of laning phase. I think that's a great, like, small little decisions like this make me a lot more confident for PEPPA. And, you know, it's not easy for Ahri to kill this guy, even if it's better. It's a lot easier for Xerath to notice that she ults and just press E at the end of her ult. And now her kill pressure is done. So it's really going to depend on Steven to make a diff here for the mid lane. But, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I expect to see better vision. Yeah, I expect to see better vision from the Xerath player to not allow the same type of ganks to happen again. Like, they were very normal ganks, and there's just no vision, and which is why, Lilia from Lily to, and that's why she got ganked at all. So
she never really paid the price for it, though. Like, she was constantly ahead in CS.
Definitely did. There was a point where she flashed and had to back and all minions.
But most of the time, Xerath still had the back, and he was still under CS. So
it's true, but you can only get away so many times. They'll catch you eventually.
I like directed camera because like it pans from like Ahri hitting the wave to bot lane farming to Ahri hits a Mordekaiser Q and it slams Gragas to bot lane farming again. No, I just let directed camera do the work because I get all the balance. I get the farm fest. I get the slam jams. I get everything.
Maokai's getting some river vision early, which will probably be
That's
good.
nice.
Especially since they're pushed up a little bit.
Red earlier and now pinging this, it tells me they're tracking the jungler, which is amazing. Oh man, this looks like such a nice gank.
This is a great gank. Wow.
Oh, so beautiful. Look at that flash.
Still dead, you're still dead.
Is that a kill? That's a kill.
What a gank from Xerath.
Beautiful ganks from Tritus this whole series. This is something.
I definitely think Lily's getting a little overconfident.
Definitely.
I mean,
Steven rolling into the lane. Jenna's still up there though, but is Steven gonna get killed? He gets out barely.
And then Vayne loses.
Oh, he might not be out.
We've got a battle here, folks. But Steven can only run for so long, and he's dead.
Guy trying to kill
Malachi. Jenna, but he didn't kill.
Oh, never mind. Vayne flashes. All right. Wow. Jenna.
Oh, but there's a hook.
2v3, looking for a burst, but no, it's just not there. Wow, that was a great pathing by Hector. A lot of awareness. Instantly saw that gank and recognized, hey, if I walk down there, the guy who's low is just going to instant die. And that's exactly what happened. And now this Kai'Sa's double buff. A guy who spams trading patterns will not get punished now by the casters. Oh, and he's still down there.
Down there. At the very least, like, look at the damage that Vayne's taking. Like this is gonna be so rough in the bot lane for Team BDO.
A great start for PEPPA here.
Here come the slam jams in the top lane though. Never mind. I think this is just top lane things. I always think, oh my god, something amazing is gonna happen, but then I remember it's top lane.
Hecarim sitting on a ward here.
Oh, that's a lot of damage.
Dixon cannot fall that big. Wow, that hook landed. It was actually GG. Bottom. He would have just died. So thank God it didn't. But so now here's the Xerath. He's actually being very active playing. He doesn't care that Lily might be the better player on paper. Not afraid to just go in for the poke.
Steven's taking all the topside jungle camps.
Yeah,
this is definitely good counter jungling. It's nice because he's got the top priority. I mean, mid.
I mean,
backing,
look,
but it's still good. It's still a good time to invade at that point, no?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see this Maokai walk up and stop the Vayne's back. You know, she's gonna back in her tower, just throw sapling at her, and she can't. She's doomed. But it's fine. They're freezing it in front of tower. There's already a 14 CS gap at 5 minutes. So, and remember what I said, like, I really feel like if their bot lane is behind mid-game, it's not going to be easy for BDO's comp to deal with this. The flip side, we have Gragas running out of mana. That's the problem with this matchup is, you know, Riot's 200 years. A lot of champions don't have mana. So you have to be careful that you can't, because now you're actually going to get poked out. Before it doesn't matter because Gragas is passive, but now no mana, you can actually lose health over time. Unless we see Hecarim come in again. Oh, it's the perfect place!
Oh, that is unfortunate timing with the good Mordekaiser ult. Unfortunately timed for the blue team, but that was beautiful. They're still going at it.
That was really worth it for PEPPA, right? That takes a lot of pressure to Gragas. This ultimate is actually like 180-second cooldown level 1. And Steven's trying to solo Dragon. Fortunately, there's no vision on it. But...
Yeah, they don't have any vision. And it's Nuno,
oh,
so...
wait, no, now they're getting spotted. Now they're getting spotted. You see the Ahri on the ward there. But the Nunu's just gonna solo the Dragon.
Oh, 3v1 bottom. This is disgusting. This is the classic Nautilus auto attack. And you can't deal with this. Wait, a lot.
And they get out.
Wow, that was a good redemption arc by BDO. If you didn't really make that play, like Kaisa cannot just stand there and bluff that my support is right behind me to try to hold tower, and BDO recognized that. Good reaction from there, and they got the dragons, so they're back in it. But again, I feel like being back in it isn't enough. They're gonna want to lead, and I wonder where that's gonna come from. Top's looking pretty good for BDO though. Maybe it could be top.
So let's look at the. This is interesting. Yeah, both these junglers have a lot of farm, so that's good. I aspire to have that kind of farm, but.
Like, I would like to point out that the teams are even on gold, but if you look at the Vayne CS gap bottom, at 7:30, it's 52-28, which means that when Kaisa backs, she's gonna have her mythic first, and that timing, when she has her mythic, she can abuse Vayne really hard. Oh, Vayne bought boots first. Okay, so yeah, so this is a tragedy. I think that when Kaisa gets her mythic, I'm expecting some big abuse bottom. The Hecarim Nunu Q2 isn't great for BDO, so...
The cat's running at him though. But he's got the shield.
The Maokai.
The Maokai.
Exactly. But
Hecarim looks like they're gonna start the Rift Herald?
Yeah, this is good, taking objectives off the map. But Steven also could be here, and Red Team top to be able to rotate faster now.
He's actually dead. And that's
Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, just messes him up.
Rift Herald is really good in this particular game, right? You have Ahri and Mordekaiser. It's not easy to take these tier 1 towers against Ahri, especially, right? So Rift Herald's you're accelerating that outer turret, open up the map to make more plays. And if you think about Rift Herald for Dragon early, I would take Rift Herald a lot of the times because you get gold, you get plating, and you free up your laner so you can make some more macro plays. Like this is a great play from the jungler.
Yeah, I agree with you on Rift Herald versus Drake early. This is good stuff for for PEPPA, Team PEPPA for sure.
Yeah, there's a fight
top
top
lane
lane
fight here.
skirmish. Yeah, Gragas just walks out of there. He's like,
Yeah, how about no?
Nothing can touch me. I'm Tank Gragas in Season 11.
I definitely think one of the commonalities between both games has just been the real lack of vision around Rift Herald, which has enabled each team to kind of take advantage because there's almost never any vision on the Rift.
Right, it's true. And even on Dragon, Nunu was able to solo it.
Yeah, just in general, early game, if you look at Red Team has one singular ward on their map right now, and that's in the top lane try. And Blue Team has it a little better. They're just scattered about, but like the bot side is entirely dark for the most part.
Especially in a game like this where it's Nunu ganking, it's a little bit more, or you want a ward not as much in the tri-bush, but like a little further back, and generally in the river, just because that's the fastest path in the lane.
But look at this 2 Red Team members top. They might be looking for something, but that ward's gonna come in pretty handy.
Here's Arde with a big 1v1 here. Gragas just leaves. Can't do any. Don't have the stickiness to cling on someone with the dash. It's Mordekaiser.
I don't think he notices the ward, does he? He doesn't notice the ward. This is a lot of information here. They know he's topside right now.
Alright, Drag's coming up soon. We have both top laners have TP, but Mordekaiser does feel really scary.
Yeah, this could be clobbering time on the Nautilus. I don't know. Oh man,
Like
it's clobbering time on the Nautilus.
Got caught out.
And that should be.
Oh no, in the flash. That's unfortunate.
Oh.
That hurts.
Right, and that's what I'm talking. Like, supports cannot ward by themselves. You know, you need your team. You need someone to hover you.
Oh no! Wait! Oh no!
And now they're just diving bottom because he doesn't have a support anymore. Gil had to be out of here by now. Zera's definitely gonna be.
Oh, but here's the TP.
Oh, TP to save him. Okay.
Wait, what? Where did the TP go? How did? Oh, the Gragas are?
Yeah, the Gragas ult. He just ulted.
Oh, that's so nice, dude. That didn't show up on my camera.
Wow. Okay.
Oh no!
Here, but
down goes Miguel. It looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they just keep it going.
Can't hold this. It is a bit tough for, you know.
Oh, here's the Hecker multi. He's just shredding the Nunu. There's the Nunu flash and the snowball out for good measure. Is that enough? And he just runs him down.
Okay, chooses not to commit to that because Lily, it's a smart play. Dragon Sub's not worth the risk. But yeah, Heckram's so oppressive when he's ahead. You know, he's not that strong when he's behind, but when he's ahead, he can just do whatever he wants. And
he's just a terror.
PEPPA's playing well around this jungle pick. But yeah, I mean, so BDO is trying to get vision, but I like how PEPPA responds. From last game, they lost vision battles, but now they're actually contesting it, and they realize, and like, maybe BDO is not used to it, but support can't go by himself. No one can. And I like how BDO is putting more emphasis on it now. I like their positioning. Oh, Nautilus pick mid. That hook lands.
Ooh, that's a hook.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a great.
Yeah, I would, if I were the mid laner, I'd be pretty tilted.
Yikes! But the one thing though is
that hook did not look like a hit.
Okay. I was gonna say
sorry.
they just used Herald, but because they waited until the last second to drop it.
Oh, Nunu might be caught out here.
Top.
I think Nunu's dead. Oh no, the ghost difference. Never mind.
I think.
Yeah.
No, I think Steven's definitely gotten a little cocky this game.
So, I don't know if Zerath saw Nautilus topside, but this ward here actually isn't good. It's not good to place this ward in the center of Pixel. Oh, never mind. This fight over.
And now Heckram's getting a little cocky. There's the enemy team, and that's a lot of Nunu damage. Here comes the Gragas.
No one knows.
But now the cavalry's coming in. In comes Zerath. There's a death ball over where the Nautilus is, and there's a Mordekaiser ult too, just for good measure.
I'm just gonna run.
Does Heckram get out? He gets out, it looks like. And the kill with the Gragasar.
Wow, that was
and then
like.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, there's just death in the bot lane too. It's just death, death, and more death.
Right. So, I mean, it's kind of funny. It's like, are you getting, are you overextended or am I overextended in my own jungle? And then they just proved that BDO is overextended. But Yeah, no, this pixel ward on the top side river, this actually is a bad ward. It's supposed to be on the right side of the bush because then Nautilus can walk in this sliver of fog of war and you can't see him. So it's actually a false sense of security, this ward. So maybe that's
which one? The control ward, the blue control ward where the scuttle is? That
yeah.
really clear?
This ward isn't good. You have to place it on the edge of the bush so that you can't walk around the side. But that might be how Nautilus got pranked. I mean, pranked Zerat. But yeah, their bot lane is behind, and it's really easy to see now that I think that PEPPA's team comp, their kits are real. It's really easy to execute like team fights with compared to BDOs. And Herald is up, so and their bot lane. Okay, so they saw Herald's up, and bot lane went top after reset, so they're probably going to try to go for this Herald at some point. That's one of the things about getting.
Yeah, second Herald would just be so nice for either team, really. But
and that's one of the things about getting bot outer first is you just free up your bot lane to swap if there's no dragon, and it's really hard to contest Herald then. And your bot lane wants to stay bot so they can get outer back, but it's tough.
I feel like it's kind of hard though because PEPPA's
another pick. Oh my goodness, just everything's there, including the Xerath ulti.
He's still dead. He's still dead. Oh, never mind. He's fine.
He's alive, but at what cost? Oh my god, the Hecarim damage.
Hecarim is just taking away this game completely. He's really taking advantage of his momentum. Steven is definitely should not be there. He recognizes that. And yeah, it's just unfortunate that PEPPA just has to give this up. Another Herald. It just seems like PEPPA is just playing really well. They do have a lead, but they're snowballing really well with it.
Yeah, already at 15 minutes, it's 3k gold, and Herald can only really increase that.
They are playing well, but they didn't really make use of the first Herald. It got destroyed before it could hit any of the towers because they waited so long to drop it. So I'm hoping that they'll make use of this one.
That's true. I mean,
there you go. There you go. That's a nice and easy use of the Rip Herald. 1645.
And that's not like a double Herald or anything, but it's fine to just use it for getting any kind of value at all instead of risking holding it again.
Yeah.
And they did effectively switch their team's positioning to be closer to Dragon. And I'm okay with them just giving up this mid outer here for Dragon Cryo. It seems fine. You're going to get your mid tower back anyway.
I don't think they're going to give it up, though.
Yeah, they don't want to give it up. I mean, BDO is poked to half HP. This looks like a Hecarim stomp. Just walks in with the ultimate.
Oh, no. And he says, now we got to fight the 3 mids. Oh, no.
Oh, man, that Hecarim ult. Holy cow.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yep.
And then Xerath's Knight for good measure.
So we don't have replays, but if you can envision your mind exactly what was said, Hecarim just ults in with these AoE CCs, Vayne gets marked by Plasma, and Kai'Sa just jumps on her and she can't play the game. So that's definitely a big problem, and since BDO is behind, I don't see how they play around it, because their front line can't wait for Vayne to wait out those ultimates, otherwise they die. So you're going to have to probably do some split pushing here. They don't want to ever group up for the most part unless they absolutely have to.
And then it's as you said too, the Kai'Sa getting the Mythic first means so much more abuse.
Yeah, because Vayne chose to get Berserker's Greaves, but you don't see yourself delaying your Mythic that long because you have low gold income. It's the way to do it.
Let's also talk Divine Sunder on Hecarim. That slaps into here. You've got 2 tanks in Nunu and Nautilus. You got a Mordekaiser who's going to be pretty tanky. And then you just kind of shred everything else anyway. So much damage.
It's true. I mean, I would say Mordekaiser does beat Gragas in a 1v1. Maybe you can play around his split push. And other than that, you could try to just sit there. But it's really hard for BDO to sit there, right? They do, because PEPPA has the Xerath. So anytime you want to sit there, you get poked eventually. So BDO is just going to have to completely
out the Maokai little crappers too.
Yeah, so BDO is going to have to outmaneuver them in order to get some kind of advantage here. Definitely possible. They have some pretty flexible champions with Nautilus, and the Ari, but you're gonna have to come up with some kind of plan to bait and switch these guys.
Wow, Miguel's taking a lot of damage from those wolves.
Yeah, and you know, here's when a town. I feel like it's these kinds of games where a town swinger really shines in his abilities. Just keep farming as much as possible. You know, even last game, you compare this CS difference. Vayne tries to have higher kill power, but Kai'Sa's always farming, taking camp on the way to taking a wave, and it's really showing here with the 80 CS gap almost.
That's what I like about it too. It's just the efficiency. Like, yeah, that was a close charm. That could have been disastrous.
I honestly don't think he had enough damage to kill him there. I don't think
exactly.
At this point, I don't even know if I don't even think Mordekaiser can ult Kai'Sa. I feel like she might.
Oh,
there's big action going on.
Yeah.
Gragas disengaged. Yeah, Gragas is disengaged is so good there. This guy completely overextended the Hecarim, but Gragas just clicked ultimate and you can't commit.
Oh, but Nunu. Oh, I thought Nunu was gonna roll it in there. Excited for some more blood.
Yeah. Meanwhile, top lane, Arctic is on the clock. You can't hold this 2v1 forever. You're eventually gonna die, and there's no dragon coming up, so you have to get some help here from your teammates. Oh, look,
Janet's just zoning him.
Completely zoning this guy. Okay, yeah, you just have to give up outer here. You just have to give up outer. You can't stop this. And then they get even more control of the map.
Dominance showing from Team PEPPA. Oh, and here comes the Mordekaiser ult. He's gonna probably catch the Xerath, no? Yeah, that's looking like a dead Xerath to me, dog. Oh, but he makes it! Oh! Just in time to not get those stats stolen. But there's still a second pick here. And 2 kills on Miguel is,
that's definitely what they
it's
have
a little
to be
harder
careful.
now for Team PEPPA. Because if that's probably what. If there's anything you wanted out of 2 kills on Team BDO, you probably want them both on Miguel right now. So this is good for them.
Miguel is a very aggressive Vayne player. You give him even a tiny bit of space, and all of a sudden he's just gonna be 1v3 in your backline. But you know, Vayne, a champion who's really bad into AoE CC. You know, this is definitely one of those team comps where how does she walk up at all? Like there's just problems with Vayne. It makes her inferior to Kai'Sa is that there's certain situations where she just cannot activate, and I feel like
this is dangerous.
Not here.
Hello. Oh.
Gragas, you think Scotty never is.
Hey, he's just trying to social distance from the Gragas. Why am I being pinged in the chat? I'm not paying attention to the chat. Ah. Hello. Hi, Matt. Matt, it's Chris. Matt. Hello, I see you. You have been noticed.
I think if BDO wants to turn it around, they have to focus on getting picks on the Kai'Sa and Xerath.
I think Xerath is way too far back for them to get picks on this. It's going to be really hard. And if Kai'Sa, okay, so here's the thing with Hecarim is like when he's ahead, you can literally just change your entire team fight to I'll go in with the Hecarim. And if Kai'Sa plays like that, it's going to be really tough for BDO to survive. Their backlane at least to survive.
That's a major thing. It's just the Hecarim right now is so strong. You can almost 1v1 or like 1v5. Basically, if it goes in on like the Vayne, Nautilus, and Ahri, it would probably come out on top.
Once he grabs that Sterax, it's just get it.
Yeah.
But anything can happen. BDO is some strong carries.
Like if
A good attempt on the charm, and seeing just a nice little dance around the dragon.
Like if they can catch the Hecarim out, like that would be the best thing. But the problem is that I don't think they can kill him fast enough before he's able to jump on them.
Look at all this poking. Look at all the poke.
Poke is big. Nautilus Q.
Miguel's half health.
And here comes the counter engage with the Hecarim.
Oh my
Maokai ult? Oh no.
But Hecarim got Mordekaiser ulted. He's out of the fight for now, but it doesn't matter.
And that's the problem. Like, 3 people on their team can't play the game because they're feared.
Yeah.
And then Kais is just shredding the front for people who aren't feared.
Mhm.
Ooh, was that a snipe or was that
Probably
just...
gonna get away. It's not a big deal. That kill on him doesn't even matter that much at this point. Dragon's up, and the later this game goes on, BDO is gonna have to play better and better to make up for it.
Yeah, their one dragon from Soul Point. Baron is up though. This is Cloud Soul this time. What are your guys' thoughts on Cloud Soul?
I think the big problem here is Cloud Soul itself is pretty bad, but
Put on Hecarim.
is really good. Yeah, Cloud Soul in general is like not as good as Ocean or Infernal, but 3 Cloud Drakes means that these guys are gonna have like perma ults up basically, which is a huge problem.
Yeah, and I feel like Hecarim definitely benefits an awful lot from it.
Yeah, the
infamous Xerath Cloud Soul combo. That's the truth.
Xerath doesn't have to worry about carrying the team when the Hecarim's on it.
It's true.
The Hecarim will round him up for him, and then he's just gotta pick up the pieces.
True. You can just do cleanup duty. And yeah, I like how PEPPA's handling this. They recognize. I think they know that their team is better later, and they're just waiting. They're not making any risks. Like no one on PEPPA really ever overextends. The only time was when Hecarim was bot side jungle, and even then he Dragons disengage. So their playstyle just make it super hard. It's really clean. Super hard for BDO to pick anyone out.
Each team's just kind of farming and scaling. No one's really... So in this scenario, would you want to like just kind of do this when you're farming? Do you want to... Is this usually the time where supports are going to start moving towards the Baron and everyone starts grouping and getting wards and sort of thing? Or sort of have to dance around Dragon 2, Electric Boogaloo?
I think BDO's plan here is to just counter engage on the Baron. It's so tough though because if you look at bot out... Wait, this guy DC'd?
Wait.
Oh, she actually DC'd there. Wow, that's unfortunate. She's back.
Oh.
That's Pog Jam. She's restarting climb. Okay.
As they say, better router wins.
Better router wins. Someone's DDoSing her. Who is it?
Oh, sorry. I should turn off my DDoS machine now.
Obviously, it's my normal internet.
Stu stole her internet to have some serviceable ping.
Yeah, so I could cast. Easy.
That's what really matters here. But
maybe the Lord ulted Janna's internet. That's why it's on.
Look at BDO isn't matching sideways, and a part of that's macro, but a part of it is PEPPA still has both outer turns on top and bottom, which means minion waves are not getting past that point. They're crashing the tower, and then the blue side wave reinforces, which means your waves are constantly being shoved backwards, which means if you want to make a macro play, you want to set up, you got to send someone to catch the wave, otherwise you miss too much gold. It's just you need to get these outers. The game's not open for them. And compare that to PEPPA, where the minion wave's not going to bounce back until you hit inhib, except for top until you hit inner. And it's really tough to make a macro play when you give all that space to PEPPA and they're ahead, whereas BDO is behind. And I want to see Arctic split push more. I want to see him, they say come at me if you're man enough, and if someone comes in, you just ult him and kill him in a 1v1, and maybe your team can win a 4v3 somewhere else in the map. I feel like that's one of the ways that BDO can come back, but it is hard to coordinate that, and maybe they think they have chances in a team fight. But now it's too late for that anyway, so we're at the Baron here, and it's probably going to be a big 5v5 that might decide the game, because inhibs are only one tower.
There's Mikael cashing the wave.
26-42.
This red team's a little split up, but are we going to see an engage? The charm onto Janna, and that's a lot of damage, but flashes straight into another member of Team BDO.
It's true. Malphite dodge. Okay.
But we've got some Xerath snipes in here. We're getting some damage where we can.
One pick. I don't think BDO is strong enough where they can win this 5v4, but they do delay the Baron. So that's a couple more waves, maybe a few more items, which could make the difference in the next fight. I like how Nautilus has Bramble. Anti-heal is really big in Tech Room. Miguel has Executioners. And maybe throwing an Oblivion Orb here and there might not be a bad idea for them, but seems fine for now.
That's a pretty big Gragas. Gragas. Well, I mean, also a pretty big Gragas, but a pretty big Hecarim.
Yeah, Gragas is level 14 compared to 15, so Ardit is actually really strong. Like, he's up CS by a lot. He's really
yeah,
strong.
I just looked at it and saw 212 and was had to do a double take.
Like, I want to see Ardit try to take over this and just split push it.
Oh, the Hecarim Kaisa combo.
And barely gets away. That should be Baron, with the jungle being forced to recall and Vayne spot him. Could be Baron here.
Easily could be Baron. Or at the very least, a
Oh,
pick.
they are starting it.
They don't have Hecarim ult though, so Vayne might be actually able to play the game in this fight. And Ardit is coming off the big flank. If he gets a kill,
Nunu's starting to come back.
Nunu's starting to come back. I
I
don't
don't think
know.
Nuno is gonna get
It's
it.
only down 5K.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
You gotta pull the trigger. You gotta go in. You gotta go in. Someone's gotta walk up. Or okay.
Close to a steal, but blue team's gonna get the Baron.
Oh.
Oh, and there's another one.
The Hecarim.
Ooh, that's terrifying.
1 second.
Coming up soon is the next Cloud Dragon. This could be huge for team PEPPA. The extra cool ult cooldown reduction, and as you guys mentioned before, the Hecarim Cloud Soul combo. It's just, and presumably like the Kaisa too, or like the Gragas with it could probably be pretty nice as well. But even denying the opportunity to red team as well, because like think of like a Mordekaiser ult with Cloud Soul, or like an Ahri ult with Cloud Soul, or a Vayne ult, no less.
It looks like there's a bit of a
looks
miscommunication
like-
before. I feel like they kind of wanted to go in. Miguel looked like he wanted to, but Nautilus wasn't really in a position to sacrifice his life for it. But hopefully it doesn't happen again on the Baron in the Dragon fight, because this is a really big soul.
I think they're just planning on giving Dragon and possibly contesting Elder and trying to wait it up and possibly farm up until they can reduce the gold advantage a little bit.
Okay, that's fine, but hopefully they're gonna have to play really well around.
Oh my goodness, this team just gets shredded.
And
That's what happens when the Kaisa has 9 kills. Oh
Yeah.
no.
at that point, the Nunu only has like Sunfire. It doesn't have enough armor where the lethality doesn't hurt. And now they're just using their base. Ardit's now starting to split push. It's a bit too late though. A 30-minute split push is kind of late in this game. And they're going to get bot inhib, which gives even less options for BDO to leave their base. With Elder coming up soon, it's not looking good.
But look topside here with Ardit taking the tower.
Right, I mean, he could have
But
done
it's,
it earlier too though, but better late than never.
it's still something.
It
I
is.
think at this point he's trying to take what he can get, and if he can try to get their base open, which he did have a pretty big wave going in, and if Gragas had back, he might have been able to stay and possibly get more. But they just need to get whatever they can at this point.
Right, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. He's so strong here. I mean, he ulted a little early. If you saved it ult like later, you probably could have killed him. But he's so strong. He can 1v1 that fed Hecarim.
Oh no. He's still going.
Yeah,
And he lives.
he could have ulted a bit later. I think he got a little scared, but like he almost 1v1 that Hecarim. If he was, I think definitely to take away from this game is you got to play around the Mordekaiser. He excels at split pushing. Ardit is good at CSing too. If you play around that, they like now BDO can actually just farm their bot lane, whereas before we try to do this and then Hecarim just ults on Vayne and she insta dies. So definitely something for game 3 to remember.
So I wonder if there's a strat. There's a strat where you would like barely leave the inhib up and leave the minions pushed in, so that like the inhib doesn't die, so they can't farm the super minions. But would that still do something? Because there's no objectives up or anything like that. Or would you want to still take the inhib here?
So that's a good point. They do give super wave to Vayne every time, but I think what they're saying is, Baron's gonna come back, and then so is Elder, and at that point we're just gonna use the inhib to out macro. And that's a fair argument to make at this point. They're pretty ahead. They're getting all the camps. Oh, Lily's.
Oh, that's another pick with the Hecarim Kaisa.
Hecarim and Kaisa do this, a nasty duo, man. And even without Hecarim, you still got the Gragas pick to do that too. It's just really tough.
Just the Kaisa pick in general is putting in work.
Kaisa's a great champion, and
Oh,
Wow.
I feel like Kaisa has to be first ban unless you're first pick. Because
Well, Kaisa just synergizes super well into that comp too, and BDO doesn't really have a way of countering this, which is they didn't get ahead early and they don't have a way to counter this, so they're forced to try to out macro them.
Oh my god, oh my
At
damn
this
it.
point, it's going to be triple inhib most likely, and it's hard for them to leave the base to do anything now. Kaisa's soloing Nexus
Oh
tower.
man, Steven's getting caught too.
Steven trying to defend inhib, but you either give it up and it's bad, or you die and it's bad. I understand where he's coming from there. Not a big deal. Yeah, these double super waves is not looking good. They're just living in their base now, and unless I see a big play coming in from somebody on BDO, it's gonna look like. Oh,
And the
Kaisa-
tanks just, are they squishy or are they tanky? Kaisa does not care. Down they go.
Still full HP, and it's an exposed Nexus, and it's looking
Oh
like.
my god.
ooh,
Wow. Great redemption arc from
Oh.
Great second game. Completely turned it around. Fixed a lot of the mistakes from the first game. And just I feel like they just outdrafted BDO too.
yeah, I definitely feel like there was a draft diff there.
I don't know, I must have eaten something funny because that was disgusting. I feel nauseous. Beautiful play by both teams, and especially beautiful play from Team PEPPA this game. This was a job well done.
I think BDO definitely has to go back to the drawing board with their draft. And Arda played more 2 games in a row. It's one of his most played champions, and I feel like they need to have the confidence to just play around him more. He's a good Mord player. He's usually up CS or gold in general, and just let him split push. Just let him give you guys options around the map, and I feel like it'll work out great.
Very hard to agree. I think I think Art is just he's really strong in the Mordekaiser, but not only that, he seems to be doing some really good ulti. Albeit that one time it was late, but he really knows his champion inside and out, and that's really important in here, especially because you got some plat players, sure, but you got some say silver gold type players too that he can just outplay like that with his champion mastery.
Right.
But
wow, we got a game 3, boys. It's a close one.
We're hitting the silver scrapes. Or is that game 5?
Silver scrapes, yeah. I wonder if it's copyrighted. But okay. But yeah, I'm just waiting for the invite.
Yep.
But yeah, now at least we know that BDO is not going to stop every team at least, which they were looking strong earlier, but Janet's team came in. They're really good too. So it's great that we have these close games in these 2 teams.
Yeah, we've got a game here, fellas.
Yeah, a bit of a tragedy that they're not named the Queen's Queens. I was getting.
I agree. I think the Queen's Queens would have been a spectacular name for a spectacular team such as this one. However, we take what we can get, as they say.
No lie, I honestly feel like Team BDO got a little bit cocky after the first game, and we're taking a lot more risks just going solo into jungle or just getting caught out a lot more this game.
Janet. I think it's true, but I think it definitely looked like that too because of the draft. I mean, you look at Peppa's draft, and Steven exists, and there's 3 people that can pick him off. It definitely didn't help, and BDO in that team comp, you don't get ahead. How do you stop their team fight plan from working if you don't get ahead?
That game was definitely Peppa's to lose from the beginning. BDO definitely the odds were kind of stacked against them just because laning would be difficult and they would have needed to get ahead early.
Alright. Dixon, game 3, Jana, Pog. Can the mods please mute Zazzy for verbal abuse? Put him down.
Please, mute Zazzy for verbal abuse. Here, hold on, how do we do that?
He deleted the map. That's right.
That's right. Beautiful.
That's right.
Can we get our message deleted by our moderators in chat?
Sends me to hug. Oh, rip. Everyone unfollow Cap.
Alright, another the Galio and the Skarner ban. I've seen this before.
Really not surprised by the Skarner ban. Steven was super strong on it the first game.
Yeah, Steven definitely was looking really good in the Skarner. Yunu is not one of his comfort picks, I think. So they might have just been trying to, it's fair to say that from BDO's perspective, they won game 1 and they have time to try out some like slightly different team fighting styles, which is fair. But they're gonna have to bring their A game for the last game. So it'd be interesting to see what they pick here as their strongest team comp.
Pathetic.
The Talon ban.
Talon ban, also good.
Yeah, great. Denying Lily that talent, it's super aggravating to play against.
There's the first pick, Kaisa.
Oh, there's the Vayne.
And it's the reverse matchup, it looks like.
A lot of agency for these two ADCs, so definitely good for these flashier ADC players. Yeah, his Maokai was really effective that last game too. I like it. I like the repick here.
It definitely was. She had some major ults.
The Maokai put in work and a half. Larkin got deleted again.
Complete Maverick.
Oh, Blitzcrank. That'll be. They can definitely get picks with the Blitzcrank.
Oh yeah, Blitzcrank is one of Dixon's champions for sure. I think I'd be interested. I mean, that's kind of what you get for picking bot lane so early. Is you're liable to give support options. I'm not really sure.
I think Fiamumu's a decent pick here. It gives them a lot of CC, especially with the ult, and you can catch people with the Q.
Right, and he did just get buffed in 11.4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did actually.
Getting
some W&E damage back.
Okay.
Mid is on the Echo. I've seen this as well.
Wait, so first team is only for the winning team, right? So we need one for each. Okay. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think Larkin is definitely not player of the series for all the trash talk he's been doing.
Yeah, definitely. He should probably.
I think anytime he says something in chat, a moderator should delete his message immediately. Anyway.
I'd like to take this time to thank our sponsor, Blue Corn Tortilla Chips. Just out of the Mississippi. Completely organic and no antibiotics, so make sure you guys check those out.
One antibiotic. There's always one.
I'd like to thank Chris for having gerbils.
I also would like to thank Chris for having gerbils.
Oh, so the Echo is one of this guy's comfort picks, and it's interesting that they swapped the Xerath and it was working so well both games. I guess he just wants to mix it up so they can't counter-strat it, which might be a good idea. Volibear at top.
Could be jungle.
Could be jungle, yeah, could be jungle. It's true. We'll have to see the last pick to figure that one out, because it is a pretty common flex pick.
I'm just looking. I always enjoy watching Volibear because his ult is just so glorious. It just exerts Giga Chad energy that League is a game where you need as much Giga Chad energy as you can get.
Oh wow!
And Ardent on the Orb.
That's a lot of tanks.
This is definitely okay. So first picking Orn.
Oh, this is gonna be
you with the counter pick Hopkins. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I got scared right there. That's a pick. Yeah, Victor is definitely one of Lily's good champions and really strong late game. So it makes sense with this kind of like classical mid bottom damage killer with the 3 tanks.
What I wouldn't give to get to pick Kane into BDO's team comp. Oh man.
Yeah, Larkin is
There's the Mundo.
crazy in chat with the verbal abuse, but it's okay.
Yeah, look at all this verbal abuse.
And we see the Mundo pick here, actually. Mundo, pretty good. Like, you usually see Mundo being played into triple AP, but you do have the Kaisa, which Mundo's better against than other ADCs because she's AP damage, and Victor. So Mundo's actually, I really like this Mundo pick here. I think if any game out of the 3 you bring it out, this is the one. And you just have to really watch out for the Blitzcrank. Otherwise, I feel like BDO's game plan is pretty straightforward, pretty traditional. I'm interested to see how this Echo is going to play. Some Echoes try to get lane dominance, which is possible into the Victor. Some Echoes try to just shove out and roam. So it's going to be fun to see which one he goes for.
I'm seeing in chat, God, the only thing sexier than Mundo is Chris, perfect chant for a beautiful man. I second this, and yep. So
Wow, Larkin is not even following this channel. Actually, a snake. Can we get a hashtag cancel Larkin?
yeah, no, I'm in this too. Hashtag cancel Larkin. There we go.
Blackmail people into following you.
Oh, okay. Augers.
Larkin's still continuing the verbal abuse, despite the fact that he already is in line for getting canceled.
Larkin now cursing in the chat. Oh boy.
All right, good.
The strong something of the law, as they say. So, Matt, how do you feel about this jungle matchup? Because I know you used to play some Amumu yourself.
And some Volibear back in the day. I would kill to have Volibear be like a meta jungler again. He was hella fun.
That's nice.
Amumu. The weird thing about Amumu is like I'm pretty sure he clears fast. Don't quote me.
He does clear relatively quickly.
Okay, that's good. That's I like being right. Amumu, of course, that ult is terrifying. Level 3 ganks are nice because of Q. Overall, but the thing is, it's like with Zach earlier. Amumu was like, "Hi, here's a cannoli, here's a zeppoli, here's some pizza, pasta, mozzarella, and here's the early game, all on a silver platter for you." So, like, Volibear, unless I'm mistaken, Volibear should be able to just run it on in there and just give him the smacking.
I honestly think this game's gonna be relatively close from the get-go. I just feel like it's relatively balanced, and BDO is going to be looking for picks with Amumu and Blitzcrank, and PEPPA is going to be looking to like poke them and for some engage opportunities. But they're just
exactly. And that's
they're
why
gonna
like,
have to worry about the Victor though if they do.
I agree. I think it might be a little hard for Vayne to play if this gets to a full build game, just because there's a lot of AoE CC, and Vayne's a short range AD carry, very squishy too. She gets caught by any of that, she could just insta die. But one thing that PEPPA does have going for it is the mid jungle duo is way stronger than BDO's. You know, you got Victor Amumu versus Volibear Echo, and I'm expecting to see them getting a lot done with that. I think if you just run away with the mid jungle prio, you know, PEPPA's the one with the initiative on that, and it might be hard for BDO to kind of get a grip on things. BDO definitely fine with just collecting waves for 20 minutes. You know, great scaling team comp, not as great early. So it'll be interesting to see how he chooses.
Honestly, if Lily stays under tower and is able to just farm and not like worry too much about ganks early, I think that they have a pretty good chance of like getting stronger, and when they try to force the team fights, Victor is very, very difficult to engage against just because of the control he exerts.
Definitely scales into a late game hyper carry in this season, and you got the Ornn Mumu on top of that. It's looking pretty good. 5v5. Lily is going to be right back. She's got some scripts to download apparently.
Something I didn't mention about the jungle matchup, by the way. as much as the early game, Amumu gets the smackening, or can get the smackening. There's much more potential than with another jungler. Amumu can also give the smackening once he scales up enough with like levels and things. So that's like, I don't enjoy playing into something where I feel pressured to make something happen, or else they scale into some monster. So that's what I'm afraid of against this whole team. They've got like a Mumu, they've got the Blitzcrank, they've got the Ornn. Like, I don't want things to get to the point where they can just kind of give them the smackening to the
And they do
AoE
have
smackening.
here, so I'm expecting an early invade. Yeah, it looks like top lane's going bottom, so we're probably going to see an invade. I like it. The team with the stronger level 1 should always be active level 1, at least get a ward or something for your champion picks. So, oh, it looks like red team is stacking to counter. That's a good idea. And
It looks like, yeah, but Maokai's going to make it in time. But they're stacking, actually. They're both stacking.
Right, I don't expect red team to leave this bush. I think that they're going to wait for blue team to walk past them and just try to insta-blow someone up. That Maokai sapling is definitely going to block the entire bot side from coming up. It looks like Dixon's just waiting to invade. I don't think he's expecting their team to invade yet. Is there movement now? Okay, they're going up.
Minions are spawning.
I'm a little confused about what's happening here. Maybe they're just trying to mess with them at blue buff. I think that's the plan. Okay, never mind. They're just going back. Okay. So I guess both teams just wanted to stop the invade. Would have liked to see some more aggressive action from BDO. I think they could have at least went topside, maybe even, and get some deep vision in. They do a really strong level 1, but it's okay. Better, I guess playing it safe isn't the worst. And Ardit will not lose any XP, maybe top lane. That could decide the match. That could make things really tough for him if he misses the minion. He's not going to. Okay. And Echo's giving Lily a lot of respect. So it's true his level 1 isn't the best, but maybe that it's important not to give her too much respect so that you can still pressure in the lane and you don't get scaled on for free. And Lily is walking behind the melees, but she's level 2, so it's not tradable. In the meantime,
And look at that poke. Yeah.
right, yeah.
Look at with the junglers too. They both started top side. They're pathing up. There's a very real chance they run into each other and a fight breaks out.
There is. I do think Volibear's the edge in that 2v2, but you never know.
Is it going to be a 2v2?
Especially with the mid lane prior the way it's going, he's gonna have to time the Scuttle fight with the Echo. So he needs to be coordinating with his Echo if he plans on fighting over Scuttle. On the other hand, bot side, Blitzcrank is getting slow pushed on. Blitzcrank, another champion like Ezreal, where Ezreal benefits from slow pushing. Blitzcrank benefits from slow pushing, and he gets hurt if he's slow pushed on because he can't Q anyone, which means he loses a lot of pressure.
Oh, there's a hook. Oh no!
Oh,
Just as I said, he wants to prove me
disgusting.
wrong. God damn it, Dixon. And okay, so here's the
Looks like
Volibear.
we're seeing some action in the top lane though.
Volibear does it the prior on this game. It's looking good. It's gonna be a flash.
There's a stun. There's a thundercloud. Lots of damage.
There it is.
Down goes a flash.
And there it is. Volibear. Okay,
This
decides
should
not
be a
to
top
attack.
scuttle for. This
Yeah.
could be a top scuttle.
It's gonna be top scuttle, definitely. But he
it
decides
looks like
not to
Amumu's
attack.
just walking bot.
Yeah.
Oh wow, he wants more.
Great hook from Dixon, by the way. Vayne has no flash, super gankable lane, and I see Amumu pathing down. And they got the freeze going. This could be a disaster for bot lane. I mean, maybe you even just reset here. You take the L.
345.
This ward actually does nothing. The way the place the minion wave is, if you put this ward down, you see a Mumu there. It's already too late to get ganked. Maokai is dead unless he flashes. Could just flash after him. Gonna flash after?
Oh, and there's the hook.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Wow, lots of spicy action early game by both junglers. And the problem is, Volibear is level 3 and level 4, so he wasn't taking camps.
Yeah, but look at the pacing here, because Steven's getting his tier 2 Krugs and Raptors and just pathing up, whereas
Right.
with the time he spent ganking, the Volibear is still on his tier 1 camps,
Right.
and his tier 2's on the bot side and he's top, but he's looking to invade this now and might be able to yoink away, say, tier 2 wolves.
Yeah, and Kai's
Coming
Or
for a
just
gank?
gank mid.
guys, like Townswinger started Cole into this matchup, which means
Is that a
they-
stun? That is
they're
a double stun.
Lily's
Unfortunately,
gonna
not
get
too much onto Lily.
Lily,
Uh,
flash. She keeps her flash. Wow, so she just walked out.
But he's going. He wants blood.
Oh,
Volley blood for the volley bear.
awkward, but this should be an easy 1v1 for him.
Here's the mid prio. Steven has to get
Oh,
away.
bot lane diff. This is the.
Oh, no, never mind. Not Steven. It's the
Oh,
volley bear that
no.
has to get away.
Wow, clean rotations from BDO. Just
Ooh,
using
the
their prio
flash.
to their
There's
advantage.
just no escaping.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's what I'm
And that's
saying.
the kill.
Like, Vayne started cold means no pressure bottom. And also, secondly, Kai'Sa's one of those champions. You give her a kill, she can actually just roll away with the whole game. And so bombing got prio, which lets jungle have the support gap, and then he can just do whatever he wants in the jungle. Like, and in that case, whatever he wanted was, I guess, giving up Raptors for the bait and switch, but it worked out.
I might have miscalculated how long this game would take based on the fact that I didn't realize how clean Dixon's blitzcrank was.
Yeah, he has the god hands. I mean, this is the guy with diamond hands on GME, so you know he's got him.
I think we're good. We might see some top lane action. I'm not 100% sure because it's a wet noodle fight up there, but
He definitely has the advantage on Echo, as Echo still hasn't backed, but Lily did get one in and has full mana, so
I think that also for Pepe, the
Pepe.
the Mundo pick is going to be really strong later. The more I look at it, so he's doing really well top right now. He's pressuring Ardit to like Kingdom Come, so it just keeps going on. Mundo's going to be really hard to kill, and the bot difference is something, but Vayne's up 10 CS, so it's not the worst. And once that Cole catches in, she's going to catch up a little bit. So it's actually looking fine for their bottom.
Echo's losing a lot here though.
Yeah, I am concerned about Echo mid into the Victor, but even Echo's late game, if he can just get one kill off or one burst someone down and then die, like, it's not the worst. It's still playable compared to the Victor. And Victor might have a hard time like surviving when Mundo and Volibear are just running on top of you. But the Kai'Sa's definitely gonna get a lot of value too of the Ornn, the Mumu, and the Blitz. Like, their front line might not be as tanky as they think it is. I mean the Vayne, sorry.
yeah, I mean, sorry. So you're saying the Peppa's front line isn't?
Yeah, Peppa's front line is, I mean, BDO's front line is not going to be as tanky as they think it is because the Vayne is such a good ADC into their tanks.
That's true. On the flip side, wouldn't Kai'Sa's existence also be a factor in that Peppa's front line might not be as tanky as we think it is
Yeah,
either?
so I think the difference is that I expect that BDO's Peppa's front line to just run at Kai'Sa and pressure her with Victor to try to kill, like, and that includes Echo. And I expect Vayne to have the luxury to either just run at them or just kite backwards. Because, like, if she just autos the closest guy, it's probably a tank, and Kai'Sa's running away, she's not going to be able to exchange front lines. I don't think it's going to play out like that.
That makes sense.
They are going to probably get this first Drake.
Oh, there's Ornn engage. It's
Isn't
still
it
a wet
big-
noodle fight, but Ornn does damage.
Right. Ornn
There's the
does
snipe, there's the flash, there's the kill.
Oh, that's devastating. But
That's all I needed to say.
Mundo is still up some CS though, to be fair. But it's definitely not great for Pepe to lose that prio top.
Oh, that was I nearly had a heart attack.
Yeah,
that
that
was very
blitzcrank
really
hook.
good.
Diamond hands, man.
Dude, that's actual diamond hands on the blitzcrank though.
But yeah, so you see, like, they're just slow pushing into the lane, and Blitzcrank is super good when he's slow pushing in. It's really hard to farm on your tower when Blitz is there. And a Mumu, this could be a really clean dive. Oh wow, that was
Or
scary.
just generally invade. Like the Vulgar
Diamond
does
hands.
that a lot in the camps.
You're just whizzing by his head. Yeah, I mean, this looks like a dive setup here. I mean, they will get heralded, but Botland has to be
Yeah, it's
careful.
all. This,
Botland has to be really careful here not to get a Mumu ulted.
and there's a. Oh, I heard a hook. My camera's not.
Before Mumu can do anything, Vayne wins this for really cleanly. Oh, she's splitting up the damage though. The misclick.
There's
And
one.
Kaisa's dead. 100%.
Is that two? That's two.
She leaves clean.
And she leaves.
Clean.
But here comes a Mumu. And a red team teleport though.
This ain't it. This ain't it. But, yeah, that Kaisa really. I mean, not Kaisa. Townswinger really showing off his ADC prowess. He's an ADC main. That was really well played by him. Kind of split up the damage a little bit, but it's fine. I guess it's all calculated, right? But yeah, that was great. I mean, in bot lane, all of a sudden, you know, now they don't have a lead, and PEPPA has some long-term goals to look for now for the team fight.
Yeah, that Vayne
I like
is
this
going
mid
to be able to do a lot of damage now.
Good. I think Volibear should just stun this guy.
Volibear gets out, but at what cost? Oh, he doesn't get out.
Guys, someone should flash over to help him.
There's the slam dunk, but is it enough? And it's down to a 2v2, but here's the Arnold. But is Lily dead?
Lily's super dead. I assume. Okay, there it is.
Yeah, there that ult, and now now it's just the smacking.
Loses the grasp unless he gets away because he's.
Here comes Steven.
Oh, Steven.
Oh, there's the 2-man. Oh,
That
that's
was a lot of
big.
damage. But I think Amu could win this, but he chooses to play it safe. Okay, Parker's.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Owen was about to get the, but it appears he did not.
I meant Mundo could win that, but he chooses to play it safe. It's fair.
What? I mean, like when Orn gives something to clap, he literally claps.
He does
I figured he if he treats others as he wants to be treated, he expects to get a clap in the receiving end as well. You see, it's the law of conservation of claps.
That's one of the fundamental laws of the universe. There.
Yeah, it's a corollary to the fundamental theorem of clappings.
Let's see.
Will not be on the exam.
Can Foxazzy please send a message in the chat if you're still here? But anyway, I like the way the game is going for BDO, but PEPPA is definitely always looking for a way to come back. And I like this Volibear. He just has so much presence on the map, even though sometimes it doesn't work out, but I feel like the idea is right. And now he's just gonna herald and give his bot laner some more plates.
Oh yeah, this is nice for bot lane.
BDO behind on the tempo here. Watch out for Blitzclick, there's no minions, it's good. It's clean, rolled, and they back away.
And now there's 4 bot.
I really like that herald.
Echo's just getting free, just denying free minions now.
Right,
I don't know
that's
what happened at the time my
like
camera's
he's
not there.
gonna get a plate. But like last game, that guy held on to Herald for too long. This game, it's like just get the value out of it, just guarantee it, and you get like it's not even that bad. You got 2 plates, and not every Herald has to be double Herald, and they definitely agree.
Yeah, hi Dom.
Hi, Dom, I'm Matt.
I'm Matt. There's no escaping.
Okay, so it definitely looks like some tension over Dragon soon, and mid probably was going to be a big factor over these fights. Echo is very.
Volibear has been spotted. This could get interesting. He's been spotted moving up too now.
Right.
1328.
Yeah.
Side note: why does Meowkai kill cats?
Not sure, but Vayne is.
Throws a cat at them and bullets. Sorry.
Vayne is 15 CS away from her call, and I think she might be able to get her mythic after that. So, Dixon pick, diamond hands. Rip. Is that a condemn? Nope.
Oh, that's a T. That's 2 TPs. This
by
is.
herself?
Oh no.
Oh, doomed. Completely doomed. Rip.
What a pick.
That was great coordination from BDO, because now you get the dragon.
Yeah, this is definitely anybody's game here. 2k gold deficit, definitely comebackable.
Definitely comebackable. There's certain picks I think are better for PEPPA hands to come back later. BDO definitely
I'm
showed
known to
that
call him Pepe hands.
they can play the macro game really well. You know, one thing that's sticking out to me is the Ornn is somehow ahead of the top laner, and there's actually a fight right now as I speak.
Oh, but here comes the Echo.
Big roam. The Ornn is ahead of top lane, and Ornn is one of those champions that when you get ahead, it feels like you're completely unkillable, even with Vayne sometimes. And just look at BDO's vision control that's still remaining from the Dragon. And then like now they're shifting over to top side. I feel like BDO is a team that's really good at getting these crucial wards in. And that's why I feel like they're always one step ahead macro-wise.
Yeah, I'd feel like I'm playing a mini game dealing with all those wards.
Right. Monkas. Oh, okay. Yeah, so Steven and Lily have more vision than Dixon does. Yeah. Pinks and stuff, so that's a sign of losing the vision control game, but I guess Dixon is very occupied trying to put on pressure bot lane. He's gonna walk up and clap this guy.
Oh, that was clean. Oh my
To be
god.
fair,
That was a 5-head play, and here's the TP.
This guy's super
They're
dead.
just diving Miguel.
That was a clean kill. Blitzcrank is dead. Oh, never mind. Mundo doesn't want to tank anymore. He doesn't get paid enough for this shit.
Ooh, that was sexy.
That's
You guys see the dodge on the hook?
Yeah, I
to
think
be
the name
fair,
of the game.
Dixon does have more vision score than anyone on the other team. So even though his vision's a little lacking compared to his own team, it's
It's true. I mean, maybe it's true. I mean, maybe that does speak to. It is hard for supports to get high vision score really early on because they can't clear very much. But it does seem like he's catching up. He's only behind by 1, and I think the name of the game for Pepe hands though is to just get as many kills on Vayne as possible and funnel her.
The full Uzi treatment.
I think the Uzi treatment would definitely pay off. This guy seems to be a pretty good Vayne player, and into the
Like, outside of that, like really, the only other damage is the Echo anyway. No, so I feel like that's just the game plan anyway.
It's true. I mean, Mundo and Volibear combined are probably like one person, like a damage champion. So it's not like they have no damage besides Vayne, but Vayne is going to be the only one that can really kill their tanks, and she has to play her. We're probably going to see her join the fights late a lot of the times. Like you can't really join the fight when a Mumu ult and Victor ult are up. They just click on it. In your postal code, actually.
in your country, honestly.
But okay, so bot lane seems like they're shoving back. They're looking for like a slow push kind of setup again to try to mitigate that Blitzcrank advantage. But Steven is bot side. Oliver is waiting for an item, so there's not going to be any counter ganks coming soon.
Here comes Steven though, and it's looking like a root angle, but in goes Steven, in goes the hook, down goes
Jana. The Vayne is 1v9ing!
Oh my goodness, the Vayne!
holy cow!
Vayne, Amumu's going
Here's another stun.
And Vayne's gonna...
Is that enough?
Oh, Diamond Hands!
And there's the hook.
Yep, there they are.
An actual Diamond Hands. Ornn upgrades are coming online. I'm seeing the Forge Fire crest there.
Well, Volibear
Oh, there's another hook.
Zealous from Dixon. It's even in the
It's just a wet noodle fight down here.
It'll be close. He gets the shield.
Look at this.
No, he doesn't have the
Actually,
damage.
10-second fight, and they've still got fight left in him.
Wow, Vayne does insane damage with the Kraken Slayer. You don't want Gale Force this game. Gale Force is for squishy team comps where you just Gale Force to the side and instant kill someone. The Kraken Slayer is definitely the better choice here, and I feel like Vayne might have been over aggressive a bit because she feels like she needs to get more ahead, but she's still 3-2 with the 10 CS gap. Trying to get this dragon. and she might be in a position to carry this game middle. Vayne scales really well from early to mid. She's one of the hardest snowballing ADCs. Okay, I was sweating there from that victory.
Yeah, me too. Me
Yeah,
too.
Oh man, that would have been a tragic dragon loss. But yeah, that dragon is really big because even if they can't get the next one, they delayed soul point for a whole 5 minutes, which not something to overlook. You know, surprisingly, there's not as much of a CS gap between the two teams. There is a small one middle, and there's like a 20 CS gap middle, more like 25. It's a very slight one in jungle, but there's not one in top lane, which there usually was for the past 2 games. So I feel like Chris has adapted. Yeah, Lily is a little bit ahead. Yeah, Lily's up 1.5k gold. On Victor into Echo, which is going to be tough. Echo not needing as many items as Victor to be effective, at least, but Victor's still very scary late game.
Does he get the Herald? He does! Saves the tower there.
Okay,
But here comes the orange postal code action.
Right, then we 2v1 action top lane. 3v1, 3v2, no 3v1 with the Victor coming up. And Mundo's just gonna
Chris just
leave.
walks. He's just like, he's doing
But he
the wide Putin walk, but he can't.
Right.
Not 3 people.
Still pretty tanky. He gave us a glimpse at how tanky he is, but not enough yet. We make this work. Pepe Hands does know that. I mean, PEPPA does know that all their champions are topside. So I want to see them make a bot side play with this Vayne advantage, but it looks like they don't want to risk the God Hand into tower, which is fair.
Yeah. I think that this is definitely still winnable for Pepega. No, sorry. I had to try that one. Anyway.
I mean, despite how bad it looks, 10 to 5, 1 drag down, 2 towers, it's only 5k gold difference, which...
It's 3k actually.
3K,
Oh yeah, 3k
yeah.
gold difference, sorry. Which, you know, everyone's CSing pretty well. It's closer than it looks, and they're about to get the bot outer. Last game, they didn't have, one of the teams, I forgot which one, didn't have bot outer, and they couldn't move on the map.
BDO, I think.
These outers are very important for a middle game, and I'm glad to see that they got one early, so they have the freedom to make decisions. Mid outer isn't as important, but it is a bot versus top outer gap. But this early on, when the dragons are more feasible to do than Baron, it could be the top outer might be a bit more dangerous to not have in the long run. So BDO,
I felt the pain in that one.
BDO did basically a team-wide reset. They're about to regroup and clump up. Now, both teams pretty much don't need it back, and there's probably gonna be a big fight exploding. BDO's trying to get topside vision control, and they got on the Raptors pit, but I highly doubt they're gonna pressure Baron. So I would gladly have PEPPA's vision right now on the bot side compared to the top side. They don't even have to fight for this. They don't. All they need is to be able to stalemate Baron, because they're not in a position to do it first. They recognize that. They're just grouping up mid. Wow.
Oh, the diamond hands, but the flash away.
Ooh.
Dubious move from Blitzcrank.
But here comes the engage in the Amumu. Here comes more diamond hands. Close.
I think there's not really that much poke on either team, so I'm just waiting for perhaps BDO to try to hard engage or just wait out the dragon. I think they are going to win out the dragon, but they're going to have to split.
Oh, there's a hook.
Oh, Voldra gets caught. Oh no.
Ooh.
Disaster for BDO and the next dragon. I mean, for PEPPA. I'm going to try to
Going in, but
mid.
whoa, that hook was I thought I was gonna get hit,
Right,
but
so-
I felt like I was gonna get hit by that hook.
I like what PEPPA's doing here, right? They're just gonna shove out mid. They give up dragon for something. You're gonna give up dragon, but you don't want to do it for free. So pressuring mid outer is reasonable, I think, instead of 5v4ing a dragon. So hopefully they reshove it. I guess Vayne's gonna take this time to collect top.
Dixon's just gonna try to see if he can get
Oh.
a hook. Ooh, yep.
And this blitz
Oh,
crank
and here's Bjorn Snipes. Oh no. They're in his postal code.
Price is going in with the ultimate, gets completely zoned up by AoECC, has to flash. That's a big flash. He really needs QSS. I mean, Blitz is just so oppressive when you don't have any map control. You can literally just walk up to you, and if you get pulled, you're dead. Even if you're a tank. And here's the value of the other. Here's the value of getting that one Ocean Drake. They're not now. They're on soul point compared to getting soul.
Yeah, and it's Ocean Soul again.
Right.
That's terrifying.
Oh, you got ult Echo.
Oh,
Right. I mean, he ults, he's dead too. So
he's dead either way. Might as well save it.
yeah, might as well.
Um,
I felt like they could have recollapsed on Lily, but she probably saw that they went topside, so she wouldn't have played like that if they were closer anyway.
yeah.
Okay, so BDO just going for a team-wide reset. They can pretty much just another pull. Wow.
Another one.
Whoa.
Just this is what I mean. There's just no way to stop this Blitz from doing whatever he wants when you have no vision control. It's tough.
Yeah, like that. I don't even think I can count on my hands anymore. How many god tier hooks he's landed. This is impressive.
Yeah, but I can't. But you can. You also can't count on your hands how much he's missed. So it's like, you keep throwing him out and it works.
Merciless.
The point is you can keep throwing him out, right? And there's nothing that anyone can do about it. So far.
I mean,
no.
he's gotten a lot of flashes from his hooks though, so.
It's true. It's true. Very effective.
Yeah, there's a what? It's
Still a 5K gold diff.
Or yeah, 5K gold
So-
deficit. So it's
come back.
doable. It's doable. I mean, it's tricky with Soul Point coming up, and let me see what the Baron respawn.
Right.
Well,
The
Baron,
problem is no point. And Lily's so dead. This is what I want to see. Volibear just clicking on someone.
Slam
just going
Dogen.
dead. Bye bye. Auto?
Wait.
Auto?
She lives? She lives?
I guess she was so fast that Echo couldn't auto with the face rush.
Wow, that's
That
a
is
tragedy.
Actually a travesty. Complete travesty. Holy shit.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Volibear the Wise?
I mean, sometimes it's about sending a message. Even gods can bleed. It doesn't matter how
Yeah.
hard-headed she is. Volibear will run at you a chem tank, and she
Only
did
with Chem Tank. Okay.
flash.
Yeah.
So at least now they don't.
That's good. The Chem Tank actually.
Was pretty good. I mean, imagine if Echo had like a half, like anything, an amplifying toe more, then she would have 100% been dead. So it is really close if she keeps playing like that.
Oh, and the Kaisa's got the Ornn upgrade now.
Oh,
it's danger time.
His Ornn value. Ornn has 45 stacks on his Sunfire. That's a lot of damage. Actually, a moving microwave at this point.
I mean, he's literally the Forge God.
Oh, they're
Kind of
going in
big.
5v4 for now. Good
Oh
fight.
no.
Echo's ult. Where's Vayne?
Echo's
Vayne's
getting
killing
deleted.
Ornn. Ornn is not a tank
Victor.
anymore. Can Vayne clean this up? She's got to clean this
Death
up.
and more death, but just sheer cleanup crew.
Oh
blue
no, you
team
need
and
the
all
QSS.
this.
That's what wow. That's what I mean. Vayne is QSS there. She can actually play the game. You got these champions with a bunch of AoE CC. You can't play the game without QSS. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll wait for the game to end and talk it over.
DM it to you said, Connor?
Yep.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Beautifully played by BDO.
Such a close fight. I know it looked like 3 people survived, but in a world where Vayne, let's say like she doesn't get stunned there, she could actually just wipe that. These tanks are like paper to her, and she kills Victor there. It's an easy 2v1. So it was actually still a close fight.
She just needs to be able to get on Victor. That's
Right.
if they can shut down the Victor, that
And it's so hard
They have
too.
a
There's
chance.
so much in the way of that too.
It is
Like-
so hard, but Victor doesn't build tank items, right? So there's going to be a point where Echo gets like 2 items, more than this, and he's definitely going to be able to kill her. Even if she's like full build, he will have the damage to kill her. Now, whether Echo can.
Oh.
Oh no. This is going to be
That's
tough.
unfortunate.
If Nick can't farm. Dragon Soul is really OP for either team. They can't give this up. I mean, they're going to have to make a miracle happen here at the 45 Dragon. Otherwise, it's doomed. Vayne does a truckload of... Oh my god. Is that legal? I
I
shall
will
make it.
make it legal. Just look at all of this.
Victor just...
Sheer dominance showing from
I-
BDO. But here comes the volley bear from behind.
Bear the god.
Dunk in. Oh, gets killed first.
Oh,
Ooh.
you gotta go for it though.
Good awareness from blue team turning off of the dragon and onto the volley bear.
I mean, honestly, I know I said it's just doomed, but I mean, maybe Victor ints. If Victor somehow dies, then I could totally see them winning with Ocean Diff, because, I mean, Vayne is so good at killing tanks that it shouldn't matter. It will hurt a lot, but it's still killable. If Victor just dies, I think it's possible to kill the team. Okay, Dixon is trying to set up for these god hands, but can't get them all. Another thing is, like, I feel like PEPPA is having a hard time engaging. Like, they're not really sticky. And in these situations here where they're on power, you just want to
They
run
have
them.
to engage. They have volley bear Q. They have an echo stun. They have now. Well, they have
It's
now.
on Victor. It's on Victor. You gotta time it. Okay, he's killing a move first, which might be a problem. Victor should die here. Victor's completely dead.
Oh, he's not. Oh man.
Oh man, actual travesty across
Yeah,
the board.
that's just a tragedy.
That's a shame.
That's
There you have it.
looking like the game.
There you have it. Game 3. That will be the game because the Supers are hitting the
It
Nexus
looks like
Tower
it's like the series goes to BDO unless.
in a hard fought series. BDO takes the cake. But it was really close. I think both teams played really well. Just some things didn't work out for PEPPA, and the Ocean Soul especially just made it unplayable.
Yeah. Just
But it was a
so
great
much, right? BDO.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually ended.
times. We didn't get pranked. Actually, mine froze as the Nexus blowing up, so I can't press it.
Same.
Thank you. Riot has all this money and they can't make it worth the client. That's all I'm saying.
1 sec.
Damage
we'll be
charge.
back to you. And we are back, folks. 1 second here as we pull in.
Add to the honors.
Stu, would you like to do the honors?
Oh.
Hello, what's going on here?
Stu?
You are our player of the game.
Series.
I just want to thank Justin.
Series.
I couldn't have done it without Justin.
That's right. You better pay me in advance. So are we supposed to ask questions?
Okay, alright. So I'll do the questions. How do you feel getting player of the game, Dixon? Oh my sweet Jesus, hold on. I'm gonna pull up the damage graphs for a second. Alright.
I mean, what can I say? Justin is just too good of a coach.
It's true. I raised this boy.
That's a lot of damage.
All right, cool. How about what do you think? How do you think the series went as a whole, Dixon?
It wasn't bad. I would prefer to play with Justin, but that's all right.
All right, all right. Sensing a little animosity here, but that's okay. What do you think about Peppa Pigs? Do you think they're a foe to be like formidable, or do you think it's
I
just
think
gonna
maybe
be
if they
easy clap?
replace their support with Justin.
Oh my god.
Okay, all right. Definitely very interesting. How do you feel about coming up your next series? I'll figure
That's
out who
the
that
game
is.
against Justin, right?
Hold on.
No, no, it's
You're
not
on
against
BDO. You are against Atlas next game. Next week.
Which team is Atlas again?
That is
Or
Is it the team
Larkin,
that
I'm
wins
on.
every
Stu.
scrim
That
game?
is Larkin, Stu, Sidgwick. Who else is on that?
I don't think it's Sidgwick
Arlen.
anymore. I think it's
Oh,
Arlen.
it's not Arlen. Yes, yeah, it's Arlen. But yeah, it's that team.
Arlen can lick my ass.
All
What?
right. All
Holy
right.
shit, man.
Do you have anything else to say? As any finishing words, any comments, friends, family, teammates?
I have one
perhaps?
last question for Matthew.
Oh,
This
yeah,
is the
sure.
important question. How do you? So, what do you have to say about the deliciousness of blue corn tortilla chips?
All right, he left the call. That's
lost
gonna
the
be it
boys.
from us, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Got some fantastic engagement. Larkin, you're getting timed out if you message again. And we should see you sometime later this week for temporary team 3 versus Asian Invasion and 3 white guys. Thank you,
Yeah, there
casters, for
might be
coming. Any final
name
comments?
change on that Asian thing. It's not really family friendly. Just
Okay, yeah. I also kind of hate it for the acronyms, but besides
Yeah.
that, anything else?
It was great to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
What do you call a cow that eats grass?